Are wait, so are we live? Uh oh, this is in the old chat. Oh, huh. Okay. Um. Okay. That's a bit of a okay. I wasn't expecting that. I thought this was unlisted. Well, that's funny. Okay. All right. No worries. Fuck. I was testing shit. I'm not even sure if you guys even heard that. Oh, that's funny. Okay. Fair enough. Fair enough. Um. Yikes. Yikes. That was unexpected a bit. Okay. Okay. I can salvage this, maybe. I gotta admit, that's kind of funny, actually. Why didn't... Okay, so I heard this on my end, but you guys didn't hear this. Alright, hold on a second, chat. I mean, I can do this while I'm talking to you. Holy shit. Okay. Alright, that's what I get for, being, being in that situation. Let's see here. What is this? Okay, that's my... that's that. Um... Oh, that's hilarious. Okay, chat. Okay, chat. Okay, I guess we're doing this. I wasn't necessarily planning on it, to be honest. But it is what it is. It's just a normal day in life. Okay, chat, we got a lot to go over. And I'm gonna have to do this all on the fly now. There's a lot to go over, as I'm sure you guys realize. There's a lot of recapping that needs to be done and shit, like a lot. And so, I'm not gonna be able to do it all in like one stream, to be honest with you. Just like the Nick Ricada stuff alone is already on some fuck shit. And speaking of which, LawTube is on some bullshit too, to be honest. I feel like I feel like that's even I feel like that's just disgusting as hell. Not the fact that people are turning on each other for the grift. I get that. I even respect it to some degree. But to sit there and blame the kids for not being able to upkeep the house or take care of their younger siblings when they've always had a nanny. People forget this. Before April and her crack addiction, sorry, coke addiction, and it ain't too much of a difference, to be honest with you. It was powder or rock, whatever. Anyway, before April came into the situation, before April came into the situation, there was already a live-in nanny. Most people, if you know, you know. And that didn't pan out because she couldn't keep up with the nonsense. So, oh my god, so many issues, so many problems. All right, let's change the scene for a second, chat. Let's go here. All right, here we go. Fucking shit, I am not ready. Not ready. Not ready. Okay, I'm not ready, but I'll wing it. Okay, chat. There's a lot to talk about. I am not gonna. Consider this like a prep stream or a prime stream for what will come later, if that makes sense. Here I can actually throw. I can throw. Let me see something. Nope. Good work. Let me see something. Let's start from. It. Let's go with Bell, and then we'll work our way down. Okay. Okay, I can salvage this, chat. I can salvage this. Okay, so a lot to talk about. This is going to be like a prep stream leading to something, to a larger stream later. If it's not tomorrow, it'll probably be next week, hopefully. To be honest, I've been caught up on a lot of dumb shit. Life comes at you fast, so on and so forth. So I'm out of the loop on some of the things. But we will speak about... fuck, man. Actually, I'll give you guys a choice. Let's see here. Okay. Actually, I can give you guys a choice. Very quickly. So we can just go over the Review Tech USA shit and DSP crap. And then, like I said, I'll have something more extensive to go over later. Or I should say. I have some shit to talk about as it pertains to the $15 million lawsuit with Activision. It'll be brief. And then I have some shit to say about X Defiant because I've been battling dudes like over the last week over that dumb shit. And then Technicals just dropped out the Leffen video. As you know, I've been headhunting Leffen for a minute. I think he's Darkside Phil, just a bit more successful, but not by that much. So there's that nonsense. And then we can get into like some of the Review Tech USA stuff. Whatever, man. Like, just you guys can kind of like pick your poison because, like I said, this is really just a test stream more than anything, to be honest. So whatever happens, happens essentially. But oh, can I grab that without? So yeah, so that's where our situation is, chat. Whatever you guys want to talk about first, man, we can briefly speak on it. Some of this stuff though, I'm gonna have to grab videos for it, so I'll have to jump around a bit, but I can still make it happen. But I would say that I would say the situation with Rekieta's sad, not unexpected though, given his decline. I'm surprised that LawTube, I told this to a few people earlier in the week, LawTube circling the wagon is low-key gatekeeping because there's already some people in LawTube that feel that the commentator community are misconstruing certain shit, or they don't have a clear understanding of certain shit, which is obvious because they're not lawyers. But that doesn't mean they can't have an opinion. And what's that guy's name? The dude that was on Kino Casino, and where else was he? He was over there with Kino, and he's talking to Josh too. Is it Unlawful Law or whatever? I can't think of his name right now. But he's over there. He was like one of the main proponents against like Kino, for example, or commentator channels speaking on shit, but he just apologized to them like the other day. So there's like there's a bunch of nonsense going on with that, which just kind of goes to show exactly there's plenty of real estate out here as it pertains to Nick Rekieta, it pertains to anybody. So there's no need to gatekeep. So anybody should be able to speak on whatever, whether they have a clear grasp or not. Anyway, but LawTube's eating pretty good at the moment, and they probably will continue to do so for a while. Legal Mindset, thank you. Legal Mindset, yeah. He turned around real fast, to be honest with you, and he's considered one of Nick Rekieta's main nose guards, and he is, to be honest, don't get me wrong. Like, he can really, he's probably one of the closest guys to Nick Rekieta, who was part of LawTube, and he was one of the guys who defended Nick when Nick chose to leave LawTube, which makes sense. Which, now that I think about it, I wonder if Legal Bites is going to come in and speak her piece, because she's had an axe to grind with Nick for a while. To be honest with you, he's the one that gave her rise, and then she fell just as quickly over the situation with was it DUI? No, DUI guy? No, yeah, is it DYI guy or whatever his name was? She had a beef with him over the Johnny Depp situation. Long story short, he showed up to one of the hearings that, or within that week. He showed up and he made some silly ass comments and shit. Somebody in the jury saw him and whatnot and made a small comment about him. Legal Bites got pissed off because she felt like if he's going to represent LawTube, that he was making them look stupid or silly, if you will. And she wanted him kicked out. Nick chose to leave because he's like, what, we're going to vote people in and out? Kind of like the DSP detractor community and whatnot, on whether you should kick people out or not. Anyway, no one in LawTube really agreed with her except for whatever simp that was on her side, which he doesn't even do law stuff anymore. And she pretty much lost everything. And with that being said, for those of you who know what I'm actually speaking on, I want to make this very clear. Legal Bites' whole agenda was never Nick Rekieta. She was never trying to oust him because she needed him. She needed him to be in LawTube officially because that's where her base of power was at, his viewer base. What she wanted was to be Emily D. Baker. She wanted to be the queen of LawTube, which makes no sense because Emily D. Baker is far more liked, far more respected, far more knowledgeable. She could never if Emily Baker actually has the crown, Legal Bites was never getting it. Not even close. So that was a funny thing in itself. But for those who know, no. But I'm waiting for her to sit there and drop a line on that. Let's see here. What's going on, chat? What's going on, chat? Someone brought up, oh yeah, is anyone still watching LolCal Live? No, at least I'm not. To be honest, LolCal Live is absolute trash because it's not authentic, and they really don't know what they're doing. Like, they don't have a clear plan or an idea of what they're trying to do. And if you think about it, Kino Casino actually picked up where LolCal Live fucked up, if that makes sense. Like, why would you waste your time doing that when you could just go to Casino? To be honest. And even then, I don't agree with everything that PPP says, but it's far more entertaining than LolCal. Like Wings is already given up, and he uses LolCal as a crutch. I don't know what the fuck's up with Boogie. It's like that dude's just ready to die. Tommy C realistically needs to just go back to his own content. And Keem either needs to bring people in who are not part of the commentator community to advise him on how the show should be conducted as it pertains to locals, or he needs to just cut his losses. Pure and simple. That's literally what it comes down to. And that's the reason why LolCal Live's all fucked up in the first place, is because he brought in people from the commentator community and they don't know locals. Like, I'm sorry, like even Nick Diorio, who has a pretty good insight on a lot of things, his bread and butter isn't locals. It's too niche of a community for him. You know what I'm saying? That's why he stays in the commentator community. It's just not going to work. You know what I'm saying? It's just not going to work. They're too far out of touch. But that's neither here nor there. The Sonic Shoe fucking medallion thing is real. That shit is real as hell. That shit's scary. That shit is scary because everybody who's been associated with that in some way, shape, or form have taken a hit. That shit is scary. Oh my Christ. And now they're talking about, like, Dick Masterson said that he'd be willing to wear it. Whatever. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, first off, maybe he should get rid of that pedophile that's on his fucking show first and then start making moves after that. But whatever. It is what it is. I'll let Josh keep fighting that battle. But yeah, that medallion is cursed. That medallion is fucking cursed. But truth be told, as it pertains to Nick, people are people. So it only made sense that Nick would fall the way he did. I understand where Medicare was coming from, where he said that, Nick came across as the most genuine of most of those people or whatnot. But, I mean, to be honest, nah, Nick was going to fall no matter what, to be honest with you. Because once he got the Rumble contract, and, reportedly high 6 figures to 7 figures, all financial responsibility was essentially off of him, right? Like, he doesn't have to stress no more. He essentially made it to the top. So at that point, the only thing he could do was go mainstream or fall, to be honest. And Nick didn't want to go mainstream because he has baggage, if that makes sense. He has a lot of baggage. And he would have had a problem, especially since his drinking was already getting out of hand before the Rumble deal. So it would have been a problem. And then there's I heard about this a few years ago, to be honest. Right around the time where the Vic Mignogna situation started to wrap up, there were rumors going around about Nick at some of those anime conventions. And I got to be honest with you, I wrote him off because I was like, nah, Nick wouldn't do that shit. Whatever. He wouldn't do that. And slowly but surely, shit's starting to come out saying that he actually did. That shit's starting to get crazy. If any of that shit is even remotely true, that shit's crazy. So there's that. Extremely problematic. Extremely problematic. What do I think about the Mudhar Keffel situation? Well, actually, to be honest with you, I was paying attention to that situation with was it Praise the Shadows and whatnot, and he was having his beef with Mutahar, Turkey Tom, and all that, which is dumb, by the way. Like, it's unfortunate because that guy makes really good horror essays, but I never saw the Hills Have Eyes one. I've only seen clips of it as of recent, but I never watched it in full. I was paying attention to that nonsense. I don't know what that guy was aiming for, but it wasn't going nowhere. As it pertains to the Keffel situation, I mean, he could have gone in a lot harder, no pun intended. I think Keffel's going for the whole thumbnail situation, the just the worm depiction was weak, to be honest with you. Like, they depict everybody in a slimy, sweaty, greasy sort of way. Keffels has used that in a thumbnail before as it pertained to Vosh, the horse fucker, whatever. So like that right there makes you an automatic hypocrite, and it's kind of backstabby. I don't know. It is what it is. The biggest thing that I took away from that whole video, well, there's a couple things, but one of the main things that I didn't know is that when Keffels and whoever that they were with at the time, when they had their stuff confiscated, their electronics and everything, they got it back 3 days later. I didn't know that. So I was thinking to myself, well, wait a second. They've been misappropriating the funds from the get-go, because when initially when all of the electronics and everything were taken, all of their stuff were seized, let's say that. They said that they had to spend thousands upon thousands of dollars to replace it. Come to find out, they got everything back in like 72 hours, if not sooner. So that in itself was problematic. What's up, Loco Slam? Big ups to everybody in chat. So I don't know. It's a mess. it's a fucking mess. But they're not going to take the video down. There's already a bunch of people that are looking closer at finances and shit. Like, Keffels is going to have a rough year. Like, 2024 is not going to exactly work out for them. But it is what it is. We'll see how that plays out. What's up, Retro? The stream's actually by accident. I'm just kind of flowing with it at the moment. We'll see where we go with it, to be honest. So it's going to be a mess. Yeah, the attempt to drop that guy, which makes no sense, by the way, because like that dude's harmless. It was lame. It was lame. It was lame as shit. Was he messing with cosplayers? It's okay. So one person has already come out and said that there's a confirmed case, but there's even more than that. There's like way more than that. So like, I don't want to, until I can get some like a little bit more understanding of what the story is. Yeah, supposedly he was trying to convince possibly a few different cosplayers or people that he thought were attractive to get into like a threesome type situation. Of age, of course. We don't want to get into King Cobra status, but yeah. But it's not even just that. Like, then you get the alleged shit talking behind Vic Mignogna's back, right? So that gets kind of greasy, that gets kind of grimy. Then there is speculation that Nick and Ty Bierce allegedly may have tanked Vic's case on purpose because somebody or some buddies in that whole like anime community they were going against pulled up dirt on one of them. And so there's all kinds of reasons, because when you go back and look at Ty's filings, they were done late, they weren't done properly, there wasn't proper notarization. There's all kinds of alleged nonsense that was going on with that, and none of it can be explained. So there's all kinds of issues, allegedly. So I don't know. It's really fucked up. And then here's the thing that people aren't saying yet, but someone should. What happened to all of the money that was raised for Vic's defense? Where's all of that at, to be honest? Because if Vic has to pay restitution, it should theoretically come from that fund. You know what I'm saying? Vic shouldn't be paying for any of that out of pocket. And if you remember, Vic never asked Nick to start the GoFundMe in the first place. Nick did that on his own. So anyway, there's all kinds of questions that could be drummed up over that situation if anybody was willing to look. So yeah, I've seen the video where his wife and those other 3 chicks were stepping on him and all kinds of weird ass shit. I mean, it was funny at the time. I didn't think of it as any more than that. But there's just all kinds of issues. There's all kinds of problems, to be honest with you. Speaking of problems and issues, let's jump over real quick to excuse me. Let's jump over to Review Tech USA. Someone needs to explain to me what's going on with this whole Dropbox story, because I've already heard it change once, and it sounds like it's potentially going to change again. So, anybody want to give me some clarification on what that situation is and where we're going with that? Because that sounds like some fuckboy shit. That's what that sounds like. It sounds like... Here's what I understand, and chat, feel free to correct me as you see fit. I'm sorry. I'm supposed to try to be serious about this. Good morning, Chiyo. What's up, Arizona? Big ups to everybody in chat. Okay, so on May 2nd, possibly May 3rd, but I think it was May 2nd. Holy shit. Review Tech USA gets a buzzing on his burner/secondary phone saying that someone may have accessed his Dropbox. Sorry, let's go ahead and circle the block on this. Let's bring that back. On the early morning or evening of May 2nd, Rich gets a buzzing on his burner phone or his secondary phone. He goes to reach for it, it falls into some bag, and it activates authorization for his Dropbox. This Dropbox has financial files and has pictures, alleged pictures, of his baby's mother, possibly in a compromising or nudes, and it has underage pictures of her children, not his, of her children, in bikinis or whatever the case may be. Now, chat, bear with me on this. The way it was explained to me is that he said that those pictures were in there as a backup to when they got new phones years ago. Okay. So, one, when they got new phones, did they never transfer their files over? Two, why didn't you create a Dropbox for the kids and your baby's mother from it in advance? Three, if they did transfer those photos back into their new phones, why didn't you delete them? Four, last time I checked, phones had micro SD cards. So theoretically, right? Theoretically, they should have been able to transfer any photos they had from their main phone into the micro SD or secondary storage. So they wouldn't have needed a Dropbox anyway. Now, chat, I know, I'm an asshole. So I'm asking too many questions, but allow me to continue. On top of that, you're saying that this Dropbox is not on your main phone and it's not on your main computer. It's on a secondary phone/burner. You're saying that you never accessed that Dropbox, but you admitted that there are financial files in there. So you're uploading your financial files to this Dropbox, but you're never looking in on this Dropbox? I'm not done. Then on May 1st, someone told you in your chat that, hey, Dropbox had a data breach. So you knew about this because this is on your stream. I was able to find this. So someone told you and you know about this. Now let's get into the allegations against Kino. He's saying that someone from Kino ended up hacking his Dropbox, and that's how they found out about all this compromising shit. There's a problem. Well, no, and his only evidence or proof that it has to be Kino is because it was accessed from somewhere in Canada. Even though he hasn't shown us the phone or a screenshot that says that his Dropbox was accessed from somewhere in Canada. Now we got problems. Or I have questions, I should say, chat. I have questions. So, first thing is, one, how do you know for sure that it was accessed from Canada when it could have very well easily have been a VPN? Two, oh, this is going to be funny. How do you know it was Kino? I'll answer this for you, chat. He says it was Kino because Kino reported on the situation with the Dropbox the day that he came out on stream and talked about it. What Rich isn't telling you is that Kino was actually stream sniping him at the time. Hence the reason why they knew about the announcement. So that kind of already kills that. So how does he prove the situation about Canada without showing us a screenshot from it? On top of that, doesn't Dropbox have a login or has a sign-in log? So theoretically, couldn't he go back and show us when exactly was the last time he logged into that Dropbox account? Now, this is me just assuming, because I don't really know for sure, and I haven't logged into my own Dropbox in a minute. So, but I did get the notification about there was some type of compromise. So couldn't he go back and actually prove for sure if there was someone who had accessed his Dropbox that wasn't him and provide the location? I've got so many more questions. And then chat, I'm still not done. We still got a problem. Because if he's lying, then he's going to have to die on that hill. And I don't know if he's ready to do that. Hear me out. Because only one of two situations happened. One, when the data breach happened, someone actually hacked into this or got access to his Dropbox. That doesn't necessarily mean it's Kino. Or two, the person on his stream told him May 1st about the data breach. He went ahead and blamed Kino because Kino's been killing him right now, and their clip channel is damn near out doing or outperforming his own shit, and he thought he could run this for sympathy point. But the way the Dropbox is set up and the way that he has access to it doesn't make any sense at all. So either A, he is sitting on what people would consider CP, and he didn't remember, or B, when he gets into these when he goes on these binges with his edibles and shit, and he's looking for spank bank material, and I hate to say that because they're just kids, he's going into that file and he's messing around with that. It's one of the two. And what he should do is come out now and just say, hey, maybe my Dropbox was accessed, it wasn't Casino, I have no proof it was Kino, it might not have even been them, and just take that back. Because if people really start to dig and they actually find out for sure, he's going to be fucked all the way around. That's all that's my good deed for today. So whoever it is in here or who hears this later, and you're a sympathizer of Rich or whatever, tell him to come clean now. Because if he ends up getting hit, if it ends up coming out later that he lied on Kino for sympathy and to try to get them off of his back, then he's going to be left holding the bag. Were you in there flapping to this material and you lied on Kino, or what? Someone needs to say something. Because truth be told, once they got new phones, all of that shit should have been deleted. Now, someone had brought up blaming the ex-wife for sending him photos of their, what the fuck? Some shit about they were like their prom pictures or whatever the case may be, right? Rich, who cares? Like, who would have even known that if you didn't say anything? Which leads to me thinking that Rich lied because Rich outed himself. But he tried to make the situation seem like he was getting ahead of the situation before Kino came out and exposed it. Here's the problem, chat. Who has exposed any of those pictures? Who's come out and exposed any of his financial documentation? And truth be told, the financial documentation is far more valuable because if I know what Rich made, right, now I have a better understanding of what the situation was between him and Jay. That's what interests me. And no one's dropped any of that. None of that's been released at all. So why the fuck would you lie on a group of people over nothing? Like, I don't get it. I don't get it. Drake is done. I mean, okay, let me take that back. Any credibility that Drake may have had, he doesn't. But Drake never had, yeah, I brought up the micro SD thing because of how long ago he said those pictures are. And even then, I'm not even sure. I'm not even sure, whatever, because his timeline's all fucked up. Because he ain't switched the story up. So, there's that. And then I thought they had well, I don't know, they may have had iPhones, and I don't really mess with Apple, to be honest. But Drake is let me sidestep for a bit. Drake has no real legitimacy, to be honest with you. Not to say that he had very much before the beef, but I don't know what he thought was gonna happen. Like, you know what I'm saying? And now the Tupac estate wants him to make a sizable contribution for using the AI shit. Snoop's not gonna do it because he doesn't feel a need to. He can bleed Drake in other ways. But if more than likely the Pac estate's gonna get paid for that. What I didn't know as it pertains to the Drake situation is that he has like a $460 million deal with what is that, Universal Music Group, I think. And then he has another like $400 million deal with like it's either the NBA or the NFL, which is linked to the Nike deal that he had, and I think that was adjacent to Jordan. That shit is looking shaky right now. Then he had like a hockey deal with the NHL, which God knows where that's at. So he had a bunch of money floating around. Why would you go at Kendrick? Why would you go at anybody right now under those circumstances? You have far too much money floating in the air, and you owe people because of his 360 deal. You owe way too much money to be fucking around and trying to find out. I don't know. I know a lot of people get on J. Cole for bowing out, but the way I see it, J. Cole did the smart move. He got out that bitch before shit got ugly. Allegedly, Bell, he did get the two-factor authentication. That's where the whole story of he accidentally knocked the phone off the I don't know. I'm not sure if it was his nightstand or whatever. It knocked into some type of bag. The bag hit the button. It had enough pressure to authorize to give authorization to the screen for the screen to give the two-factor authentication, and now all of a sudden everybody, Kino Casino allegedly, is now in on the Dropbox. Whatever. Like, the whole thing don't make no fucking sense, man. It really don't. But yeah, if Drake needs to go back to making his love songs about chicks or whatever, and in a couple of years this shit will all blow over. But he needs to get back out there and start putting in work, because he has so much money over his head. And now he's going to move closer to Jay Prince, so he's going out there to Houston. And I don't know if he's doing that because he thinks it'll give him more street cred. He needs to just stop rapping and just go back to making his love songs and get it all over with, to be honest. Yeah, he like Rich fucked up. Going back to Rich now. Rich fucked up. He fucked up bad. And right now, he's lucky that the Nick Rekieta situation is so lucrative. Because if not, he's going to have problems. He's going to have problems. You know what I'm saying? So right now, Rich has the benefit of the doubt of being off of everybody's radar. But truth be told, he's still going to have to address this. Rich has always been a piece of shit. Always been a piece of shit. Like, quote me on that shit. He has always been a piece of fucking garbage. And like I said, it was just by luck that he was able to float under the radar. Oh, yeah, the the Jake James situation. He did some GoFundMe for $500 or whatever it was for a PS5 or for whatever. And now people are starting to question it on Reddit and whatnot. I think, big ups to Meerkat. I heard Meerkat did something about that yesterday. I need to go back and listen to it. Jake is a weird one too, though. Like, if you really decide, like, look, go further with that. But he's a real strange one in itself. But, it is what it is. What's up, Ice? So, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, Rich got incredibly lucky. Incredibly lucky that he was able to skirt away the way he did. Incredibly lucky, to be honest. And then here's the fucked up part. When this whole beef or this whole situation happened with the detractors, right? I'm just gonna call a spade a spade. I think Rich thought people like Sly and people like Duty were gonna run interference for him, or they were gonna smooth stuff out with him with Hate Army and with Hogan and whoever else adjacent, and it didn't happen. Which is kind of fucked up because essentially he thought those guys were gonna be bird dogs and they were gonna go ahead and handle his dirty work for him. Because Rich thought he was gonna punk them and then they would just fall back in line, and it didn't happen. I don't know why he thought it would. That's the reason why he's so desperate to get I'm just theorizing, by the way. But that's the reason why he's so desperate to get Hogan into a conversation live. Because either A, he thinks he has dirt on Hogan, or B, he thinks if he barks loud enough, he can make Hogan falter, which I wouldn't expect him to do either. That's why he don't want to speak to anybody like that's why he doesn't want to speak to ProleteR. That's why he don't want to speak to fucking Hate Army. He don't want to speak. There's a bunch of guys he don't want to talk to. But that's the reason. He has to think, or he must think he has something over Hogan to where if he can get him in a verbal conversation live, he thinks he can embarrass him. Which is lame as fuck, to be honest. Yeah, that is the lolcow thought process. Absolutely. So, that's a situation with that. And now he's saying, and then, check this out. Now Rich has this new shit where he's like, oh, if anybody wants to talk to me or whatever, you have to come on my platform. I'm not gonna make money for other people. I'm gonna profit first. That sounds like a bitch-made way of saying, yeah, I'm gonna shield myself over here and now I don't have to talk to anybody, which is very much a DSP type situation. We'll get to that in a second. The reason why that is because one, Keem must have told Rich, if not Rich definitely knows, about all the chargebacks that lolcow Live dealt with when Rich came on to their show. So there's the first thing. The second thing is, it literally shields himself because no detractor is going to go up there and be the fucking playful monkey and whatnot just for his, for his profit. Fuck all that. Tell him, matter of fact, if Rich is willing to go over there onto, I'll pick somebody randomly, Agent ProleteR's stream and whatnot, he can catch these hands. You know what I'm saying? He can catch these hands all day. If he's willing to do that. You know what I'm saying? Unless he has someone else neutral, right? Like, I don't know. We can see what Eric 8-Bit's doing. You know what I'm saying? Whatever. But other than that, you know what I'm saying? Rich has figured out a way, sort of, to prevent himself from actually engaging with people. And yet again, he really don't want no smoke with anybody because too much of his shit's already out there. That's why he keeps saying on his streams, oh, there's all kinds of misinformation and everything. Speaking of which, big ups to Agent ProleteR for sending me that fucking video of fucking Monday Matt crawling out of wherever the hell that dude's been to fucking speak to Rich. Like, that must have been surreal because that's where Rich is going to be at in a few years because that music business thing or whatever it is isn't going to work. But it's clear that Rich is trying to he's trying to weasel his way back into the DSP detractor community, and that's why he wants to try to make DSP meme songs to do so. But it's not going to work because his songs are terrible. His songs are horrible. Holy shit. Songs are fucking garbage. Oh my god, those songs are terrible. So terrible. Like that Rome Street remix or whatever the fuck that was. No, it was bad. It was just have you guys heard it? Matter of fact, here, let's I need to try this feature anyway. Since you guys are like right here. Have you guys heard the Rome Streets shit? Let me see if I can find it for you actually. Because if I can, then we can let's see. Huh. Well, I didn't know it. Ew, I didn't know that at all. I don't know if I really want that. Huh. Okay. Oh, I know what I'm at now. Never mind. Never mind. Okay, I know what it is. All right, bet. Here, give me a second. Let's see, what is that? How does he spell that? Let's see here. Is it Hell Backwards? I think that's what it is. Yeah, that's what it is. Okay. Here's the official song right here, and then there's Rich's remix, which isn't even on Rich's channel. It's on another channel. Yeah. Here it is right here. Okay, chat. I'm game if you are. You guys want to hear this shit? Like, I have both. I have the original and then I have the remix, which is what Rich put out there. Initially, too, it was the official remix. Speaking of which, let me give credit where credit's due. The reason why I even know about this whole bullshit here is because is it bad moments of lolcow history? They did like a whole story on it. Like, I have, like, that's what I'm initially going to go over, but it's there. And that's where I initially heard about the story. And the reason why, but the funny thing is there were already people talking about it because Rich basically said, oh, the reason why Rome Streetz, the reason why Rome Streetz didn't like his remix is because he's a white middle-aged man. That's the reason why. He brought his color and his age into the situation on why the remix wasn't good. That shit is crazy. Like, we're out here, we're using racism and ageism to fucking get our argument over. You got me fucked up. You got me fucked up. All right, what do you guys want to hear first, chat? You guys want to hear the remix or you want to hear the original one? What do you guys want to hear first? Oh, I did hear about this, about Smash TV and how they took down his site for a minute and then he ended up getting it back. Yeah, I heard about that because he did the hit list shit. He did the hit list shit on there where he basically put the public names and faces. This was already out there in public. He didn't dox anybody. He basically did what that dude on Steam did, essentially. And they all got butthurt over it. Over, what was it? The falcxne. Baby something. I can't think of it at the moment. I can pull up the Gundam video if you like. I'm trying this new feature, so it's whatever. This is just one big test. Yeah, I heard what he did. I heard what Smash TV did. That shit was hilarious. Who were we here? Okay, so original, remix. All right, I'm gonna give you Rich's version first. All the shit's I'm not even gonna say it's terrible. I'm gonna let you guys decide. I'll let you guys decide what you guys think about it. Let's see here. Rome Streetz held backwards. Hold on a second. Let me actually click the video. Okay. We're not going to listen to all of it. Well, it's 2 minutes. It's 2 minutes and 44 seconds. It's not that serious though. You don't need to hear all of it. You just need to hear enough for you to form an opinion. That's all I really want from you. To be honest, I just want you guys to be able to form an opinion on what you guys think. Let's see here. Yeah. Produced by Review Tech USA. Oh my Christ. Okay, so you guys should be able to see my screen here. Okay. You should be able to see it. Now the question is, will you be able to hear it?
Battle Star Shogun, plotting new stick-ups with an old gun. Hey yo, trust no one. Soul of a battle star shogun, plotting new stick-ups with an old gun. Inhale the weed, smoke deep in both lungs. My destiny's to hold funds. The dough comes and goes, make sure you hold some. Step into the dark side, it's far from wholesome. I made a large pie out of whole crumb, then multiplied it. Took advantage of everything that they don't acknowledge. Some niggas got all the game, but they won't apply it. Didn't go to college, I chose the road in the coldest silence. Saw the coldest violence, sold plenty dope, cut with a broken promise. Smoking potent scammers, young and wild. On the low for mama, po behind us. Next stop is the island. Solid, fire in my eye, pistol in my sock, money on my mouth. Try to front a slot. Love, lust, envy, and the hate. It's the vibe, it's the vibe, do it that. And why I'm dead ass. I've been riding iron horses, dreaming of buying Porsche, daily iron shit that.
Okay, so There's problems, obviously. There's problems. There are problems with that shit. There are all kinds of issues. Like, where beat drops come in, where the drums are at, there's all Oh, there's all kinds of issues. There's all kinds of issues. Like, there's all kinds of problems. Like, you can't sit there and tell me you really thought that was, like, you can't really sit there and tell me that you thought, or he thought, that was good. Like, there's so many, there's no feeling there. Like, let's be honest, there's no structure to his beat. You know what I'm saying? It's just something it's extremely repetitive. There's no personality to it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Actually, Double actually already got it. It's soulless. It doesn't feel like anything. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't, there's a lot wrong with it. There's a lot wrong with that shit. It's pretty fucking bad. To be honest though, the beat could be salvaged. Not by him, but like the beat could be salvaged. It's just really, it's really bad. It's really, really bad. To be honest. Here, I know it's a terrible taste in your mouth, and I apologize for that. Give me a second though, because I can go ahead and give you the original, and you guys can kind of compare. Holy shit. Let's see here. Okay, here's the official video. Let's see. Let me pull my screen up. You guys can see that. You guys can see. You guys can see that. Okay, and here we go.
A Shogun plotting new stick-ups with an old gun and held the weed. Look, hey yo, trust no one. The soul of a battle-scarred shogun plotting new stick-ups with an old gun. Inhale the weed, smoke deep in both lungs. My destiny's to hold funds. The dough comes and goes, make sure you hold some. Step into the dark side, it's far from wholesome. I made a large pie out of whole crumb, then multiplied it. Took advantage of everything that they don't acknowledge. Some niggas got all the game, but they won't apply it. Didn't go to college, I chose the road in the coldest silence. Saw the coldest violence, sold plenty dope, cut with a broken promise. Smoking potent scammers, young and wildin'. On the low for mama, po behind us. Next stop is the island. Solid, fire in my eye, pistol in my sock, money on my mouth. Try to front a slot. Love, lust, envy, and the hate. It's the vibes to survive, do or die. And end while I'm solid. Fire in my eye, pistol on my sock, money on my mouth. Try to front a slot. Love, lust, envy, and the hate. It's the vibes to survive, do or die. And end while dead ass. I've been riding iron horses, dreaming of buying Porsches. Daily iron shit that'll probably make you nauseous, cautious.
Okay, chat. I just wanted to let you hear enough to where you get the point. Like, I don't know what the fuck Rich was thinking. I don't really know what he was thinking. Cause it's very disorganized. And truth be told, actually, because we're gonna get into some of this DSP Street Fighter shit in a minute. You don't want to know the way it comes off to me? It comes off as Rich was trying to give a lazy imitation of how he perceived the beat, or how he perceived the song in general. To be honest, that's how it came across to me. To be honest, and I don't understand how. Clearly, Rich isn't musically gifted, but like how do you mess something like that up? Why would you even approach that beat? First off and foremost, there's a bunch of like people on SoundCloud. There's a bunch of like, you know what I'm saying, like Rich is still on Facebook, right? There's a bunch of Facebook rappers. There's a bunch of guys that you could have pulled across or pulled off of and go with it. I don't know, man. I don't know. I think that he aimed way too high, and if he's doing all this under the influence, which I assume that's what the case is, for various reasons, he had no business messing with that. That's my point, chat. He had no business messing with that shit. That shit was rough. To be honest with you, that shit was straight up terrible. that he wanted to go that route. Like fucking A, man. That was ugly. That was ugly as shit. Anyway, but there's that. There's that situation. So anyway, so Rich, so the artist basically goes on Twitter and is basically like, "Yo, you Frankenstein motherfuckers, stop fucking with my shit, whatever." And Rich got the nerve to get mad about it and whatnot. Matter of fact, give me a second. If anything, I could probably pull up the video for you, even though I've already kind of got like a chop and screw version of it that we can go over later. But like this motherfucker tried to pull ageism on the kid. Like you wanted to pull ageism and racism on why the dude wasn't feeling your shit. Like, couldn't the guy just not like it for the sake of not liking it? I mean, he has a reason not to like it. But fucking A. Oh yeah, that's something I'm planning on talking about too. Infiltration's trying to petition and get himself back into the FGC. And there's people still blocking it. But we'll see how that goes. I will say this though publicly. If Infiltration gets back into, if they let him back in, they're gonna have to let Low Tier God back in too. And I don't know if people like Ultra David's gonna like that, but they're gonna have to be honest, because now you're like, okay, LTG saying a bunch of vile, hateful bullshit online, or someone who was accused of beating the shit out of his fucking wife, which turns out, excuse me, that's not even necessarily true. To be honest, the way the story is starting to come out, that's not exactly what happened. So, be anxious to see how that plays out. Yikes! I forgot all about that. That'll be fun to go over. Let's see here. Yeah, that'll be fun to go over. That's gonna be interesting. Pull this up real fast. Let's see here. Agreed. And the thing is like the original artist has the right to not like, to like or not like whatever it is. It just, I don't know. I'm not sure what Rich was trying to go with that. That shit was just really bad. It was just like, it was fundamentally just a really bad idea. He should have ran that past somebody before he posted it, to be honest. But if he has a bunch of yes men or yes men around him that just agrees with everything that he says, I can understand why he thought or he had the confidence to post that. That should have never been posted. Jesus Christ. Like, you need the, like, you know what I'm saying? If you don't have an ear for music like that, that's fine. But get someone who does. Don't just sit there and go off of the hook with that shit. Let's see here. FGC drama addressing harassment. I'll have to get back on that later. Give me just a second, chat, while I'm kind of looking for this, because I know I timestamped all this shit. So I can at least like be a bit coherent with all this nonsense. See if I can find. Here we go. All right. Yeah, bad moments in lolcow history. Big ups to them. Let's see. Review Tech USA getting exposed for view botting, which has been a long time theory against him anyway. Review Tech USA stalking female streamer. That's the chick that was on Twitter. Which, yet again, that surprised me that more people didn't go at Rich's neck for that. This chick told him to rope himself because Rich was out there talking dumb shit. And he takes that personal, chases her over to Twitch, and subs, and then he subs, and I guess he buys a membership and tries to harass her there until she bans him, which is crazy. And he actually thought that was a good idea. That's fantastic to me. Let's see here. This is when Rich called Keno rapist. I remember that. He's accusing what's his name, Andy Worski, of that nonsense, even though I'm pretty sure that's been debunked. ESP blaming detractors, blaming X for the Dropbox shit. Let's see here. Damn, I'm gonna have to find where he. All right, here. Let me pull up the channel real quick. I have to actually find where he put that. Let's see here. I have to match this up with the timestamp. Interesting. But actually, while I'm looking for this, let me speak a little bit on that Brian situation with DSP. If you will permit me, chat. First off, let's talk about why Brian has been brought into the picture. Brian's been brought in because DSP thinks Brian's going to bring him legitimacy. Reason why that is for those of you who remember, back in the day, there used to be a 3-man trio between Brian, Kekin, and DSP. I think they're playing Apex. And there was a few times where DSP would pick up and leave, but he would have Brian and Kekin, their voices still coming through the stream, so they could kind of they could mingle with the chat or whatever. And Brian was, for the most part, liked. He's easy to engage. Well, he's back then. I don't know about now, but he was easy to engage with. He's easy to talk to. DSP got jealous because obviously whatever DSP was doing, he was still monitoring his stream, and he didn't want Brian. He didn't want Brian on no more. We can't use Brian the way we want to. So no, you're not going to get big off my name, or off my stream. So you get the fuck off, Brian. And then we haven't heard from Brian for years. If you guys remember when Street Fighter 6 happened, when it started, early 3 or 4 months, DSP put out a quote unquote open challenge to anybody in the FGC who would be willing to have some matches with him or whatever. And no one bid at it. There's a couple of good reasons for that. One, if you go back to the Snake Eyes match, if DSP knows that you have a name, he's gonna basically get on his knees like his sister-in-law and give you the Officer Sanders the Officer Sanders special, which is garbage, obviously, because we saw she can't handle even a limp dick, let alone anything else. So that's what DSP is gonna do. That's disgusting to obviously, but that's disgusting to anybody in the FGC. You're wasting people's time doing that. Secondly, DSP is not competition. He's not good. And even if I'm the only one that has to fight on that hill, which theoretically I am, I'll stand by that. He's not good at all. You're not going to be able to learn anything from him. He's easily conditioned, to be honest. And because he depends on his reactions and reflexes, he has no game plan. He has no strategy. You can condition him extremely easily. And that's what happened during the Akuma fuckfest that he was dealing with last week, I think it was, when Akuma got out. After a while, dudes just conditioned his ass. It was embarrassing. Matter of fact, if you watch some of the situation with Brian, you can see Brian kept hitting him he would hit him with like the same setup, expecting DSP to change up, and DSP didn't. Instead, DSP was solely focused on trying to beat it. That's the reason why he is going on this spiel about, oh, I don't have so much latency anymore. Oh, I'm willing to use my mini PC now and see if I can buy Street Fighter 6 for the third time to play on PC. That's why he's doing all this other nonsense. He really thinks that it's the game's fault and it's not him. But Brian, I think, outside source, someone who's good, I would say. He has holes, but it is what it is. But he's definitely better than DSP, I think. Proves that DSP is trash. And I don't care what anybody has to say about that shit. DSP is garbage. When Evil AJ said all of those years ago that I thought DSP would be better, he meant it. And on top of that, the conditioning for that trickles down to this very day. Ryu walks alone, Lady Gambit, Goji tanks, bigs up the Goji. Take your fucking piece of peace. Take your pick. You know what I'm saying? Even if they want to be generous, they know deep down in their motherfucking souls that DSP is garbage. He's trash. He's bad. Here, let me break this down. Let's say you want to go the piece of peace angle, right? And you want to go off frame data or whatever, frame data and everything else that's adjacent with that. DSP does not know nor understand frame data. You have a better chance giving that argument to LTG, because at least he understands that to some degree. So we can go ahead and cut that out. If you want to just talk on pure skill and know-how, Goji Tanks and Evil AJ have him beasted on that shit. If you want to go to the Lady Gambit situation and just go off of straight reactions, they had them beat on that. Who else? What else do you want? What else do you want? he keeps complaining about player knowledge and shit. Like, I think he was playing against an Aki last night, and he said, oh, I didn't know her throw setups and everything. This idiot looked right at the camera and said, oh, I don't know or understand her throw setups. Like, he was telling the chat, hey, you guys need to help me with this because I have no experience in it. You played Aki. You have played against a bunch of them, and you still haven't figured it out. But then again, his Blanca's trash. Because if you go back to his fight with King, I guess that was like last week, I think. That King, well, the guy's name's King, but he was a Blanca player. He was eating DSP for free. For free! Like, because DSP doesn't understand how to optimize his combos and shit, right? Like, he gets a hit, and he goes into the same pattern flowchart shit that he's conditioned himself to do. He doesn't understand or know how to do anything else. Matter of fact, didn't he say he was watching top players play? Where is all the stuff that you try to emulate? Where is all that stuff at? And the thing is DSP exposed himself because he admitted that he was in the lab on his day off trying to practice shit. But what happened when he played? It was the same milquetoast bullshit that he usually do. Like, the guy's terrible. The guy's terrible. He was, if you really go back and look at it, DSP tried to make his name off of a game that was already dying. Let me give you perspective. Back when in DSP's heyday, so you're talking about between 2000, I guess early 2000, I suppose. I think it's 2002. From 2002 to 2007, when he was competing in Super Turbo, the game was already dying out because it was the fourth. It was still like in the big four, but it was actually, ironically enough, it was actually the fourth game or the fourth place game back in those days because it was Marvel 2, it was CVS 2, and it was Third Strike, and then Super Turbo rounded them off. So the game was already falling out, to be honest with your prominence. That's why DSP was so desperate from 2005 to 2007 to get an Evo win before the game faded out. So he was already desperately trying to win at a dying game. That's hilarious when you think about it in perspective. Which goes back to the whole situation with Brian. So now, so he has the match with Brian, right? And it comes out later that Brian was talking, DSP and Brian were talking for a couple weeks leading up to this special event, DSP calls it. And Brian says, yeah, I was trying to get him on Discord. I was trying to get him to talk to me or whatever, and DSP couldn't figure it out or whatever the case may be. Here's the truth. One, Brian already being on stream is already probably panic-inducing enough for DSP. Because during that whole match, or between their sets, I should say, DSP barely talked shit. He didn't treat him like you would treat any other run-of-the-mill opponent, right? He was sitting there trying to give him big ups and all this other nonsense, which came across disingenuous because DSP is disingenuous. Two, if DSP admits that he knows how to use Discord, then now we got some real problems. Because if you guys remember the story, DSP said that DSP says he has 2 Discords. I mean, right now he probably tells you that he only has 1, if he even admits to that. But he says he has 2. He said he had 1 for his mods, and he said he had a second Discord that was created by Twitch for him to be able to speak to his partner manager back in the day. I will look up the screenshots on that because I'm trying to put the whole story together. So give me time on that. If he gets on Discord with Brian, then any narrative that DSP has ever woven about Discord immediately gets blown out of the water. Next thing, how the fuck did we have almost a 6-hour marathon with the side scrollers, but you can't get on Discord, or you can't plug in your headphones and your headset, I should say, to talk to Brian? How does that make sense? He had that damn thing on, those headphones on, for 5+ hours talking to side scrollers, and not even talking about, well, it's 6 hours altogether, because if you think about the after show they did that went on Patreon or whatever it was. He didn't mind doing that, but he couldn't give Brian 2 hours. You couldn't give Brian 2 hours for a situation that you're planning on doing continuously. This is an ongoing thing, it sounds like. But then again, DSP now has a video on it. He has the stream itself with him playing against Brian. Now he has a video with him and Brian side by side. So essentially, he's eating off Brian twice. Why would he give that up? I want you to think about that. Why would you give that up? If he thinks he can eat off Brian twice. Because DSP is not going to be able to, he can't banter with people anymore. He don't know how to talk to people like that. So what good is it for DSP to speak to Brian while they're playing? There really isn't one. All it does is allow Brian to kind of showcase his range as it pertains to his knowledge of Street Fighter 6, and it allows him to showcase his personality. So you're basically putting a potato up against a chef salad. Like, make it make sense. Like, why would DSP have any incentive of doing something like that? It doesn't make a whole lot of sense. So this whole thing now about DSP wants to get a special microphone or whatever the case may be, we're wasting money to do literally nothing. And then more importantly, even if he does have the microphone, right? Let's say he gets the mic or whatever the case may be. Is Brian's audio going to come through? Is it going to go through the stream so people on stream can hear it? Or is DSP just going to get a mic so he can talk to Brian and Brian can talk to him, and we still have the video that goes on, that will go on his channel later on with both of them talking back and forth, but you won't get that on stream. Which one is it, chat? What do you guys think? He's literally just wasting time and money for no reason. Because I'm telling you, he doesn't want, I don't think he wants to give Brian any exposure. You know what I'm saying? Which is kind of, if one wanted to make the argument, you could say that's kind of racist, because you want to go ahead and give side scrollers all of your time and attention for 5+ hours, but you can't give Homeboy like 2 hours of your time. You can't do that. He was willing to give side scrollers the world, but you want to leave Brian on the porch. He can still play Street Fighter 6 with you, but he has to do it from the porch. He can't come into the house. He can't come into the air conditioning. You know what I'm saying? Like, what the fuck? I mean, that's a reach on my part, but seems suspect. Seems real suspect. Oh shit. Sorry, chat. I haven't had a chance to actually look at the chat. Give me just a second. Let me see if I can find this. Getting to the female stalker, caught with the kid pics. DSP has less views than Review Tech USA has less views than DSP, which is actually funny. Maybe it's an older video, so it has to be in one of these two. Give me just a second, chat, while I take a look for this. But that's my thoughts on the Brian situation. I feel like Brian's getting played, to be honest, and maybe he's okay with it. Maybe it's not that serious for him, and if that's the case, then no harm, no foul. But it's clear that Brian's getting the weak end of this, to be honest. Failed video project. I can't believe Rich actually paid YouTube to try to promote that video and he still didn't make shit off of it. That's hilarious. That's fundamentally just sad. Let's see this one. Give me a second, chat. I'll go through it just so I can get to the actual part. So you don't have to hear anything just in case I'm wrong about it. But that's silly. Are they gonna push for that Tyson? Are they gonna push for that Tyson Fury rematch? They need to, before they try to strip due to the IBF belt. If they decide to strip him, of course. Let's see here. Okay. All right, that's not it. Oh, too, because I already have this clipped. I could just go to that. But rather you guys see the video, see at least this part of the video outright. Maybe it's here. But yeah, that's my thoughts on the DSP shit. For the most part. And like I said, getting the new PC is not going to help him. To be honest, it doesn't change anything. His skill level is where it's at. Wow, he really did call Andy Warski a rapist. That's so crazy. Yeah, here we go. Okay, all right, wait a second. I got it. It wasn't the Kino Casino rapist allegation. 2 minutes and... No, it's at the 20. Holy shit. God damn, I'm deep in the weeds for this one. Let's see here. Yeah, here it goes. Here we go. Let's see here. Your Frankenstein ass beat. You can barely call that damn thing a beat, to be honest with you. Shit. Yeah, here we go. Yes, son. Let's see. Oh, is it true that Rich said that if this music career shit don't work, he's gonna have to get himself a real job? And the reason why I bring that up, because it's fucked up that he would say that. The reason why Rich initially said he was going into music was so he could better connect with his daughter, because she's currently blind, unfortunately. So that was his real inspiration to get back into music. Now somehow the story has changed to, excuse me, I'm going to try to go into the music industry now, and if that shit don't work, I have to get a real job. And we're talking about getting loans and shit to make this happen. Oh, that's fantastic. Oh, yeah, I reach for the stars, Rich. Reach for the stars. Oh, shit. Oh, Rich, I'm pulling for you, buddy. That's what it is. I'm pulling for you. I want you to be the next Steve Stouts or some shit. What the fuck? Oh, shit. All the talented motherfuckers that are currently out there that can barely get any exposure or get a beat, and you're just gonna show up and make it happen, huh? Gotcha. No problem. All right, fair enough. Okay, let's see here. Let me see if I can find the video for you guys real fast. I'll link it in the description so you guys can watch it. When is it? And then I'll play you the part that I'm looking for now. God damn. Yeah, right there. There we go. All right, I'll throw this in the chat, and I'll make sure that's in the description for those of you watching it after the fact. Let's see here. Now let me take a look at chat for a minute. Sorry guys, it's been a minute. Yeah, Brian probably is fine with it, but he shouldn't. But I mean, it is what it is. Just wanted views to get part. Okay, there's Ann. What's up, Ann? What's up, Ann? So Brian still doesn't have partnership yet for as long as he's been grinding. Ugh. I didn't realize that. That's kind of crazy. DSP's new combo. DSP's new combo was literal. Fuck that. I'm not even gonna dignify that with a response. Literally hour one stuff that we do in the lab is DSP's new go-to combo. Okay. All right, fair enough. Guess you have to learn how to crawl before you can walk, right? Okay, so no worries. No worries. All right, bet. Oh my god, that's so incredibly embarrassing. Let's see here. All right, chat. Let me pull this up so you guys can see it. I really need to streamline this. Oh no. Help! Okay, cool. We're good. All right, chat. Like I said, bad moments in locale history. Big ups to them. I will drop the link. Let me drop the link for you. Bam. Oh shit, what's up, Proper? What is up, Proper? Big ups to everybody in chat. Okay, so there's the link to the video if you guys ever want to catch it later. Yet again, it'll be in the description too after the stream, because I would like you guys to check that shit out. So big ups to them. All right, here we go. I want you to hear this shit. I want you to hear the ageism in this bullshit. Holy shit. If the music business don't work, Review Tech USA is going to have to get a real job. Post office, airport, whatever he can get. Keep that in mind.
I've been just...
Then Rich's big plan to resurrect his career and turn everything around. He's gonna work on his music. He's gonna be a producer in rap. Now, I've heard his beats, and they are absolutely horrible. The only people who like it are his sycophant simps, like the Coxler, who like to sniff the farts out of his ass. We got Renton Liar. This guy really nuked his easy career online, regurgitated gaming news, to chase a dream of becoming a rap producer, laughing my ass off. First creepy, morbidly obese man to ever make it in the rap game.
When I started full-timing this, I was an idiot. Just like I'm an idiot.
Save all their old photos from their old phones to his Dropbox.
My bad. I was muted. Brian's only averaging 10 viewers. Is that true? Yikes. That's actually kind of unfortunate, to be honest with you. That's kind of unfortunate. That is for as long as he's been doing that too. Let's see here. All right, I have to kind of start it back a little bit further than I wanted to. My bad. But yikes! I didn't know Brian was only averaging 10 viewers, or only has 10 subs, or whatever the case may be. That's rough. All right, here we go.
How to run his business. Next up, we have Renton Liar. This man is the laziest man alive, and he has this weird obsession of being perceived as busy all the time. He never reveals what he's doing to be so busy. It's a big secret, so he can use it to be a victim, and you can't hold him accountable for being a lazy, deadbeat POS.
Dear God videos, I would love to. I'm doing okay, man. I know I need to get back to streaming. I need to get back to making money. It's not that I haven't been doing anything. By far, I have not been doing anything. I wish I was doing nothing. I've been just...
Then Rich's big plan to resurrect his career and turn everything around. He's gonna work on his music. He's gonna be a producer in rap. Now, I've heard his beats, and they are absolutely horrible. The only people who like it are his sycophant simps, like the Coxler, who like to sniff the farts out of his ass. We got Renton Liar. This guy really nuked his easy career online, regurgitated gaming news, to chase a dream of becoming a rap producer, laughing my ass off. First creepy, morbidly obese man to ever make it in the rap game.
When I started full-timing this, I was an idiot. Just like I'm an idiot for trying to get in the music business when AI is taking over everything. But I'll do it though, because I'm a talented motherfucker. Quantum TV put up a Best Buy tour video 5 hours ago. You're joking.
I don't know about you guys, but like, I actually know talented people, and they don't call themselves talented. Like people who have real talent or real skill, they don't boast about. They don't boast about having talent or skill. Like they show it more than they say it, right? Because that's how real talent is displayed. I don't know. I'm just maybe he don't know that. I don't know. Maybe that's not something that a lolcow can understand. Maybe because DSP says his content is meaningful. He says he has talent. He says people value him, and you don't see any of it, but yet he keeps saying it. It makes you wonder. I'm just throwing it out there.
You're trolling me.
Now we're gonna get a sample of Rich's talented motherfucker beats. We got Darksea. Remember how Rich said he was going to lay low for a year and talk to a financial advisor about...
Yo, what up, King Bean? It's been a minute, man. I hope you're doing well. Yeah, it's been a hot ass minute. I've been MIA. I've been MIA for a minute. You know what I'm saying? Been MIA for a minute. But yo, big ups, man. I'm glad you're doing all right.
alone and work on his music. Well, here's a preview of the music he's been working on. I usually don't like to dunk on people for bad music, but this is trash.
I will.
What is that? Behind the scenes.
What is this? Is this what we're gonna take the music business over? This is what this this is what this is what's gonna change the music game. That right there. This I don't even know what that is. I don't know what that is. You know what I'm saying? What's this, like early 2000s struggle beats? Like, what is this? Like Rich is the next Kanye West? Like, what is this? What is this? Oh my god. is this right here? Does he think this beat is gonna be like, is this gonna be featured on That Being Said? Is Alt gonna go ahead and put this in the next mixtape or some shit? Is Meerkat gonna remix this? Like, stop. Like, what is this? What is this trash? Like, what you're fucking with your family's livelihood for this. You're putting yourself and your children's livelihood on the line for this. Remember, chat, this was the same motherfucker who told people you're fucking with his livelihood. This is how he makes his money. This is how he puts food on the table. This is how he takes care of his kids. If he took care of his kids. But we're gonna gamble it on this. This is what it is. This is the play. Someone help me. Help me understand this. This is the play. Somebody please help me. Oh my Christ. All right, let's continue, chat. Let's continue.
K-Dot or Dizzy, I don't know who the hell they are.
Wait, you're trying to break into an industry and you don't even know who the top players in the... You don't know who K-Dot is. And especially with as much as their name is ringing bells right now. And you... All right. Let me...
K-Dot or Dizzy, I don't know who the hell they are.
I don't know who K-Dot or Drizzy... Okay. All right, fair enough. You know what? I'm going to go ahead and do country music tomorrow. But I don't know shit about country music at all or whatever. But I'm gonna go in and expect to break through and shit. That's just what's gonna happen, man. That's just how I'm gonna play it. Why not? If Rich, this talented motherfucker, can get into hip hop and not know shit about apparently anybody currently that's in it, then why the fuck can't I? Don't be wrong. It'd be different if it was like some SoundCloud rappers or some shit. But you're talking about whatever. I don't even know why I'm trying to bring reason to this.
Now keep in mind, he says us DSP detractors are obsessed with Phil and need to go outside and touch grass. He has Phil in his thumbnails when he's not even in the videos. All his streams are about Phil. He has merchandise of Phil. He makes music.
That's a fair argument that Rich might have a humiliation like fetish. It's possible. I suppose that's a thing. I suppose that could be a thing. But I don't know what you would consider. Oh my god. Let me finish. Let's finish it though.
Music from Phil's
yeah, that
audio.
could be possible.
Whenever you donate to him, there's an audio clip from Phil playing. But we're the obsessed ones. Then we have this from Droopy Side Face. Making struggle beats in your parents' house isn't getting into the music industry. And there's never been an actual talented artist who called themselves talented. He has such a lofty view of himself when everyone else sees who he really is, a fat, creepy failure of a man. And then this is what I was talking about. Renton points this out again. The funniest shit about rich rap producer Dream is if you go to his channel with beats, there's fans that are straight up lying to him because they love Review Tech USA. It's legit insanity. Dudes who don't even listen to rap, commentating full paragraphs about how great it is. We have this here. Rich has apparently made a perfect beat. Things are looking up for RTU. Hopefully this beat can land him a record deal. Also reveals plans for the dead channel, Review Tech USA. Can't wait to hear this Frankenstein-ass beat. Same fucking trash beat over and over. Give it a rest, you fat, decomposed body fuck.
I got a beat that I'm working on that I think is S tier, but I'm not playing it until it's completely done. Yeah, I think the new setup. I think tomorrow I'm going to put up a video called I'm Not Dead on my main channel. So, one, to get some people to come here, and two, to make people realize that, no, the Review Tech USA they do is dead. But I will be doing things on that channel. I post beats on Il Capo.
Here, actually, let's speak on that for just a second. So, Rich puts out basically I'm done with YouTube type video or whatever, saying that he's done with the current Review Tech USA is long gone. It's done. It's whatever, right? Basically another one of his many goodbye videos. Then he follows that video up with a sponsored video about Keffals. Now, sorry, let me show him. Let's show our future, red hot producer the respect he deserves. You put out a I'm done video, and then you follow it up with a Keffals video that's sponsored. Now, most of you are thinking, well, damn, that sounds kind of retarded, because it is. But let me explain what his logic is. His logic is the initial, I'm done video was supposed to be the soft reset. And then he thought he was going to be able to play off of the algorithm from Mudahar's Keffals video, as well as all the other adjacent videos that are talking about that Keffals situation. And he thought he was going to get a bump off that. And then he thought it would be a good idea to put sponsorship on top of it, thinking or trying to show that, hey, I'm an open-minded individual, I'm woke, I'm willing to go with whatever. Okay. Why did you think that was going to work? Like, what sponsor would want their name attached to Keffals right now? What sense did that make? You couldn't have made a video that was sponsored before the thanks YouTube, but I'm done video, and then followed it up with the Keffals video? Like, what sponsorship would even want to touch you after that point? Like, why would they even bother with it? And how is it that you have 1 million plus subscribers and you can't even pull in 10% of the views? Like, does that not seem a bit problematic? So where did you even find that sponsor from? I mean, don't be wrong, sponsors will pretty much sponsor anybody, but whatever. That made no sense. I think he might have buried himself on that. Unless he's okay with getting like D-League type sponsors, which is more than likely what's going to end up happening from here on out, because we couldn't think ahead for a solitary second. On a Keffals video, you couldn't have done a generic Sony video. You couldn't have talked about anything in Call of Duty. No, you couldn't have done any of that. You had to put a sponsor on a Keffals video. Oh my Christ. Oh my Christ.
So if you're ever wondering how his future is going to go as a rap producer, we're going to take a trip back to the past and look at the shitty raps that Rich has. That time, Review Tech USA remixed a rapper's song and got dunked on because it was so bad. Of course he copes by saying it's because he's white. Laugh my fucking ass off. So we have Review Tech USA here, new track I produced, Rome Streetz, Hell Backwards remix, produced by Review Tech USA. So first off, he's using someone else's name, saying he produced their song, then puts that as a remix at the end. And also, if you notice, on the YouTube thumbnail, it's that person.
You see how grimy that was? Not only did he pass it off like he produced the original song, but then he puts a remix at the end, knowing damn well that most people won't even look at the initial title. It's like, oh, Rome Streetz produced by, and then just move off that. Jesus Christ! This is how we're gonna pay the bills, right? This is how we're gonna pay for our daughter's medical bills, right? This is the play. This is the move. Okay, I'm just asking.
Person's face. I want to point out too, on the YouTube part it says Unofficial remix. He didn't have Unofficial at first. He just had remix. So people were thinking that Rome Streetz actually had this as his remix. And we have this here. Rome Streetz has taken issue with an unofficial remix of his new Hell Backwards single that he's not messing with in the slightest. He targeted Review Tech USA for his whack remix of the hard-hitting tune on Monday with a scattering Twitter rant. Then we have Rome Streetz. All y'all producers doing that Frankenstein shit to songs and make them sound worse need to stop. Y'all ain't doing shit. No justice. Keep your fucking science projects to yourself. Then he also puts out, if a lot of whack remixes, he just caught the bullet today, cause I'm tired of hearing these shits, it's about quality. If you follow me, you know I won't hesitate to promo a fire remix. I've done it countless times. Good is good and bad is bad. And then this is a continuation of that. So this is Review Tech USA talking about his remix from Rome Street. Show respect, get disrespected. Fuck him, my track is better than the original. Holy fucking shit. He wrote in a since deleted tweet, he went on to allege that Rome didn't appreciate him being a white middle-aged man rather than not actually liking the remix. I think it's because you seem to have a problem with my image rather than the productions I create. You're welcome for the extra publicity since people who listen to hip-hop who aren't incels didn't know who you were before this. So he's saying...
No, what he's saying is, Negro, pay respect. I put you on, son. No one gave a fuck about your whack-ass song before I came around and did this shit. Don't worry about the color of my skin, homie. I'm the one that's putting you on. I'm the one that's giving you the work. I'm the plug. Don't ever question what I do, son. That's what Rich was trying to say. God damn, son. Oh, good job, Rich. There you go. There you go. Take your manhood back, right? You're not going to go ahead and be like Boogie and have some bull go ahead and pump their wife, girlfriend, or caretaker, or whatever the fuck, full of that semen, right? You're going to go ahead and take back your rights. Yeah, good job, Rich. That's right. Tell him. Tell him, Rich.
His remix was actually better than the original, which would piss me off. Then saying, I'm more famous than you. People didn't know who you were until you heard my remix. And then called people incels, which is coming from RTU, which is quite poetic. Then Rome Streetz blocked him. Then we get into the delusions of grandeur, as Phil would say. John Riley.
Alright, links in the description. If you want to hear the whole video the whole way through, I recommend you check it out. There's some funny stuff in there. Jesus Christ, Rich. Jesus Christ, Rich. Oh shit. No one knew about your ass before I put you on with the remix, son. God damn, dude. This is what happens when lolcows try to interact with real people. This is what happens. This is the problem, ladies and gentlemen. This is the this is the issue. Woo, this shit is good. Oh, a big ups to Cat Roller, by the way, too. They're back in pocket. So get that fire stuff now. Here, give me a second. I'll drop the link down in the description. Oh my god. That's just crazy. That's so good. That is so good. Actually, can I actually bring up their, give me a second. Yeah, here's their channel right here. Like I said, I'll leave the link down in the description though. And like I said, feel free to check it out and whatnot. Because they're back in play. I gotta sit here and watch these compilations though. I want to see what that's about. That's 24 hours worth of stuff, man. That's gonna be interesting to watch. Looking forward to that. So, but big ups to Cat Roller on that. Oh boy. Oh, that's good. That's real good. Okay, chat. Oh my god, chat. So much interesting stuff. So much interesting stuff. Oh my god. Yeah, dude, like it was wild that he wanted to bring the color of his skin into that shit. Like that has anything to do with anything. When you know, anybody who knows, most of the fire producers in this shit are in hip hop are white. Most of them are. You know what I'm saying? Good portion of it. That's so insane that you would play that card. So fucking insane. Jesus Christ. Could have just paid homage and shit, but couldn't even do that. Get the fuck out of here, man. That is so crazy. That is so crazy. Yeah, proper action. Well, sorry, I'm way behind in the chat, but yeah, it was fun. Go ahead and seeing that shit. Speaking of which, prop, is it confirmed that like are you just shadow banned or are you blocked? Just out of curiosity. Here, I gotta go to the current chat and see what's what, just to make sure I'm getting this. Oh my god. Oh my god. Don't talk about his family. Oh yeah, yeah, that's funny. That's funny. But yeah, if that's what we're gambling on for our family's sake, send your prayers to Rich's family, bro, because that shit's gonna that's not gonna be the play. That is not gonna be the play. This is Beyonce trying to get in the country. Oh, fucking A. Oh my god. So crazy. Just so fucking crazy. Oh, wait a second, hold on. Alright, Review Tech USA did ban you. Yikes. Yikes. That's crazy. Because I was wondering, when Hate Army did their video, I saw they didn't have your they didn't have any of your, actually, matter of fact, I can look that up really fast. They didn't have any of your comments in his video, and I'm thinking he couldn't capture it. And I'm thinking the reason why he couldn't capture it was because of because Rich had shadow banned you. Which, you know, it made sense. And the funny thing is all you did was ask, you know, hey, is this really going to be the play to take care of your family and shit? He decided to get butthurt over it. Okay, let's see here. Hate Army. What do we got here? What do we got here? What fun stuff do we have? Let's see. Scamming DoorDash for free Chinese food. Speaking of which, anytime that DSP has a complaint on the Bottom Bitch podcast, he more than likely complained to get his money back. What DSP probably doesn't know is there's only so many times they'll let you do that before, you know, they stop it. So maybe, just maybe, DSP shouldn't be a scumbag about that shit. Let's see. DSP replaces his fat wife, yikes, with a black man. I mean, he'd want to replace it for John if he could. Oh wow, DSP went over the Legal Mindset spoke on the flapping situation with Rich. I mean with Rick. I mean with Nick's. Sorry, my bad. Here, chat. Let me bring you in on this. I have not seen this yet, so I want to see it. We should see it together. The sharing is caring. Sharing is caring. Okay, here we go. We're here with the homie Hate Army. Let's see. The jury will watch Nick Rekieta do the DSP thing. Legal Mindset. Let's hear it.
Hate Army.
Shout out to Hate.
Good vibes to the
Shout
Hate
out to
Army.
Hate.
Shout out to Hate.
Shout out
Shout out
for
to
hate.
Shout out to Hate.
Shout out for
Shout
hate.
out for hate.
The cop used the fact, let's go down here, that Nick in his videos appears to have lost weight, tired, and strung out. He doesn't look good. His appearance changed. A reasonable person can conclude that Nick is fucked up.
Well, of course Nick is fucked up. I mean, if you guys are not current on the situation, and Proper's right, he did nothing wrong. He did everything correct. It was speculated. It's still kind of still being speculated, but it was speculated on who was it that ratted Nick out. Well, we know now, at least we know at least a few people who ratted him out. One of the Sunday school teachers, a few people in the congregation, and apparently Nick's wife's sister, so basically Nick's sister-in-law, also complained. She may have even been the one to actually go down there and put the manual complaint in. So, yeah, there was a lot of people that saw that he was strung the fuck out. And the fact that the kids, this bothers me a lot, right? Because, like, a lot of people, let me reword that. A lot of people initially wanted to paint out Nick's wife, Nick's Kayla, as a victim in all of this. And, you know, she was just, you know, Nick made her do it, or she was following Nick's situation or whatever. You got 5 kids. You got 5 kids to take care of, right? No easy task. You know, most people can't even handle 1, let alone 5. When you saw that the kids were being affected, where they have to ask the local cuck Aaron to make SpaghettiOs, laundry's not being done, there's no food in the refrigerator, you're sending the kids to school, you know what I'm saying, wearing the same clothes over and over and over again, and they have to go to the pastor and be like, hey, can you feed us, basically, because, you know, we haven't eaten or whatever. Tell me where her personal accountability comes into that. I'm really getting a, like, now it's starting to waver, and people are starting to kind of realize, okay, she does have a part to play in this. Duh, there was 2 parents. You know what I'm saying? And fucking April, you know what I'm saying, the live-in fucking cum dumpster. I mean, apparently she couldn't even put a sandwich together. Aaron, he was only giving them fucking lukewarm SpaghettiOs. There was a problem going on there. And it's really crazy how Law 2 wants to fucking try to defend that shit. And one of the things that really bothers me is this chick named Meg Fox. Not the actress. She's a journalist and whatnot. She was really close to Rush Limbaugh. You know what I'm saying? I'd like to have a conversation with her on some MILF type shit. But whatever. Don't disregard that. The point being is that she tried to blame Kiwi Farms, just like some of those guys in LawTube, for Nick's downfall. No one bought the coke for him, put it down in front of him, line that shit up, and make him snort it. None of them did that. And Nick is the one that told us for years, oh, I don't really read Kiwi Farms. Oh, I don't really read Kiwi Farms. Oh, well, I do read Kiwi Farms, and most of it's constructive, and the other stuff I don't really worry about. That was him. He's the one who said that. So, I don't know. The nose guarding, or whatever the fuck you want to call it, is lame as shit. There are actual kids here with actual documented evidence of abuse and or neglect. And the first thing we do is try to defend Nick and the wife, but we want to put the responsibility on the kids on, oh, why can't they do laundry? Why can't they take care of their younger siblings? Why can't they feed themselves? Because they always had a nanny to do it for them. That's why. Who do you think April replaced? Except for that nanny wasn't a cum dumpster. And wasn't in the, what's the word I want to look for? What's the term I want to use? And she didn't come with her own cuck on the side either, who apparently, according to him saying this, he would occasionally bring them snacks after you know, some of their little sex sessions and shit, which is, if that's not cuck behavior, I don't know what is. But I mean, make it make sense. Make it make sense. Like, where's the actual personal accountability from? And then it only explains why Nick doesn't want that police cam footage to come out. Because truth be told, I want to see what the house looks like. Because over here, Legal Mindset said the house was trashed. Right? It was a flop house, essentially. I want to know how much of a flop house it is. According to Aaron, he said when Nick's wife wasn't saying that they were soulmates while he was hitting that on the fucking couch, apparently, allegedly, that she would be in his office cleaning up all the liquor bottles on the floor and shit, calling him a fucking alcoholic, and that shit needs to stop. Well, that's funny. So we can go ahead and stop with the drinking, but we can't stop with the nose candy? Make it make sense. Make it make sense. All right, let's continue.
This is now a fact. Nick was, I mean, and this is something that is relevant, is that if you pulled a jury and you showed them Nick's stream, because by the way, they're now going to show that clip. The clip, you know, the clip of Nick doing the DSP thing, they're going to play that in court.
Yeah, there you go, Nick.
What do you guys think? I'm
go
gonna
ahead.
in the chat.
Get April's
We'll
head lined up.
We have,
there you go.
You know, people in
yeah,
here.
there you go.
We got some Nick stands.
Tell her no
know.
teeth.
Here's
there
the
you
question.
go.
For you guys,
there you go.
Let's see how many people are gonna go on one side or another.
Why is my camera so on?
I know it's not funny, but it's funny. Oh, let's watch it again.
Doing the DSP thing, they're gonna play that in court. What do you think what do you guys think? I'm gonna put in the chat. We'll see how many we have, you know, people in here. Maybe we got some Nick stands, you know. Here's the question for you guys in the chat. Let's see how many people are gonna go on one side or another.
Oh, that's silly. That's silly.
Why is my camera so on? Trying to shut the show down. Like, we'll play the credits. No. What we'll do is we'll sit
That
here.
dude is coked the fuck
Guys,
out.
Here's credits.
Do you guys in the chat? I want to see, you know,
Jesus.
people of the chat. How many of you think that he was strung out? That he looked different? He didn't look good. He looked, you know, bad.
Oh, the camera's on. The camera's been on the whole time, huh? I don't even know.
Hello. Oh shit. Oh, good shit. Big ups to Hate Army. Oh shit. Big ups to Hate Army on that. God damn, son. Ooh shit. Oh yeah, I'm telling you, there's all kinds of weird shit going on in that house. I promise you there was all kinds of weird shit going on in that house. Whether we're gonna find that out, who could say, but I could see why Nick is fighting that shit. For real, for real. Holy shit, for real, for real. And but also there's another thing too I wanna put out there. It's not fair, to be honest. It's not, I'm not nose guarding here, but it's not fair to blame Nick for Aaron and April's relationship falling apart. Because I was telling ProleteR about this last week. There's a channel out there that has been they like document steel toe and shit. There's actually a few of them, to be honest with you. More than I gave credit, I was willing to give credit for. And Aaron and April have been having financial problems for the better part of a year. So the money issue was the real problem, is the real situation. It's not Nick and Nick and the Coke and whatnot. They had problems before that. They had major problems before that, to be honest. So, which in our next stream, I'm hoping to get part of that. But yeah, there's some real problems out there, my guys. There's some real problems out there. What do we got here? Since I'm still on Hate Army's channel, what do we got here? What we got? Review Tech USA snakes Nick Ricada for being a Christian? Ooh, really? You don't say. Are you like Salad and you're like anti-religious? What is that about? And admits to be addicted to weed. Yeah, I already knew that, so I'm gonna need to watch that. That might be good. Let's see. DSP reacts to Nick Ricada spiraling. What else we got? What else we got here? Review Tech USA wants you to send him drugs in the mail. Yeah, that's because that's a smart move. Someone asked FPS Kyle on how that worked out. I don't even know if most of you guys even know that story, actually. That's what ended up putting Kyle in jail. I'm not sure if most of you guys know that. Let's see here. Actually, you guys up for another Hate Army video? Because I want to see this video here. What is this about, actually? Replacing his wife with a black man that he met on the internet. that's pretty funny. Okay. Here, let me check. Let me go ahead and see what's up with chat here. Have you seen the full clip of the flapping? I'll look it up. I'll look it up. I will definitely look it up. Yeah, none of them are, but back to the whole Nick and the whole family situation. None of those people are innocent, dude, at all. Like, everybody has a part to play. And the fact that I understand I understand your lawyer friends trying to stand on business. I get that. You know what I'm saying? Loyalty is important, but there are kids involved in this. You know what I'm saying? There are kids involved in this. And then for some of them to turn around and try to put the responsibility on a child. Like younger than 18, and they're supposed to go ahead, handle school, handle this, handle that, when they don't even they never came up that way. Most of us have learned how to be able to wash dishes since you could reach the sink. Most of you learned how to do laundry, unlike DSP, who didn't learn until he was like 35. You learned how to do laundry the moment you were able to take laundry out and put it in. That's normal. But most of you, I can't speak for all of you, but most of you probably didn't have nannies. And then parents on top of that. And then $3,000 snack bills. Not grocery bills, snack bills. Most people can't relate to that. So to hear some of the people in LawTube say that absolutely ridiculous shit just goes to show exactly how out of touch they are. But then again, maybe we can't necessarily blame LawTube for that. Maybe we as society are just out of touch. Maybe we just don't know. I am still working on that Emperor. I'm still working on the Woody Sex shit. I think I may have, for the larger project, I should say, I'm probably 30% done. But it is in the works. I don't even know if they would know what an iron is. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to understand, like, Nick was able to afford his family a lifestyle that, in truth, at least for his kids, is kind of all they knew for a while. You know what I'm saying? Because obviously Nick didn't really blow up on YouTube. He's been on YouTube for what, 5 years? 6 years maybe? And he didn't really start hitting it big until like 3 or 4 years ago. Something along those lines. So, I mean, but then again, they weren't impoverished. You know what I'm saying? They weren't living, they weren't down bad before he made it big on YouTube. It was tight. You know what I'm saying? Because he's mentioned this before. He had multiple credit cards. Shit was maxed out. You're trying to juggle shit. Nick has said all this before. I get it. I think we all get it. But after a while, but you had a living nanny. You know what I'm saying? And they had both of their parents and shit. I don't think it's realistic, especially since most of his children are young. So I don't know. Like, I think it's really unrealistic, to be honest with you. I think that's another thing too. Like, because Nick is going to represent himself. He's going to represent his wife. I think he thought he was going to represent April. If April's smart, she'll go ahead and take a plea deal and get up out that shit. Because why not? Why not? She might as well go ahead and take the deal and work that out. Nick is probably not going to, at best, if Nick goes ahead and takes the plea for himself and his wife, to be honest with you, she'll get off on probation. She'll probably get like 15 years of probation, a shitload of community service, and they're going to have to pay they're probably going to have to pay an ass load of money and whatnot as a fine or whatever the case may be. Nick will probably serve a year and a day. You know what I'm saying? Because they can probably talk down the weapon charges. The drug charges are going to be a little bit more difficult, but because he's a first-time offender, it's Minnesota, so they're really about about rehab and rehabilitation, I should say, more than anything else, at least for people within his financial or tax bracket. He serves a year and a day, maybe. Or they sentence him they sentence him from 1 to 3. He serves like a year and a half, maybe. But even then, it's going to be like a club fed type situation, to be honest. He serves a big ass fine and he's on probation for the rest of his goddamn life, essentially. And that's that. And that's if he even gets that long. He might as well. The worst that happens for him is he can't vote. But like most people who get hit with felonies, you can petition to get your voting privileges back after the fact. It takes years from what I've been told, but it can happen. So I don't know. I'm not sure where Nick's going to go about it, but he needs to take his ego out of the situation, especially since the same judge that he kind of defamed like the week before with the monograph situation is the same one that's presiding over his own shit. So I don't know. I'm not sure how that's going to work out. And he already lost the monograph shit, or monogram shit. Is it monogram or monograph? Whatever. That dude. He already lost that shit. So he needs to figure out what he's going to do. I have no clue how do you buy 3K in stacks. I have no clue. Now keep in mind, when he says 3K, and I'm exaggerating myself, it very well could be just the grocery bill or whatever. But he said that was weekly. You know what I'm saying? Like, how is $3,000 worth of food going up and out that house in 7 days? Like, that's scary in its own right. Like, them kids are eating around the clock. Are those kids as big as Oompa Loompas? Like, someone tell me something. Like, make it make sense. I don't think they are, because the way some of the reports were saying on the condition of the children. So clearly they were damn near starving. So no one's running around with extra fat reserves. So I don't know. I have no clue. It's wild. The snacks are business related. Oh yeah, they were definitely eating good though, for sure. But yeah, the kids are. I assume the kids are pretty skinny, dude. So it's like I said, it's just it's just shitty all around, man. And I understand that Nick wants to speak his piece or whatever, but like he needs to stop responding to people's DMs. He needs to stop going on local. I think it is. He needs to stop talking to people over there because all this shit's being archived and whatnot. You know what I mean? And then you have Josh who raised $6,000 so he can get the police cam footage. It's only going to cost $3,000, he said, but the extra $3 is just in case shit happens. If he gets that, then you know what I'm saying, then we're going to really find out what's what. And it gets worse because now you have the Ralpha male. He out here, he smells blood in the water. He's been wanting to get at Nick for a minute, and he's thinking he's going to get another Chris Chan situation. So if you're Ralph, you're thinking, hey, this is another chance for me to come up. So I don't know, man. I don't know. I do know this. I think Aaron's a scumbag, though. I don't think everything he said is true. He doesn't mind making a cuck out of himself, though. But I don't think everything he said is true. I think he's a bit of a slime ball. I don't think there's too much that should be said about that. One of the things that leads me to say that, by the way, is the morning after they got arrested. I remember he said something that stuck with me and it didn't sound right. It just fundamentally didn't sound right. He said he wanted to reach out to Nick's parents just so he could reach out to the kids and see how they were doing. Because he said a familiar face would be a good thing. You were allegedly, you were fucking those kids' mother. You were serving them snacks. You were heating up SpaghettiOs. You're not a family friend, asshole. So why the fuck do you think Nick's parents would even want you to be anywhere near those kids? They don't know you. But I thought that was creepy as shit when he said that. I was like, oh yeah, you're a piece of garbage. You're absolutely a piece of fucking garbage. So that's the thing that bothered me. I think he can mess up his case more if he goes live. If he goes live, he's going to end up screwing himself, which is probably the reason why he hasn't done it yet, as far as I know. Him going live is the worst thing he could do at the moment. It's the worst thing because his ego is going to get the best of him, and he's going to want to have an excuse for everything, and it's going to make him look worse. And then what's going to happen? LawTube is going to try to jump in and try to save him on that. You know what I'm saying? Nah, not at all. And it's one of those situations. It's like what I've told you guys. You give DSP enough rope and he'll hang himself. That's literally what the situation is with Nick. And anybody and everybody who engages with that is financially inclined to let him strangle himself. There's no other reason for it. Because everybody's coming out of the woodworks on that shit. I'm surprised we haven't heard more from like Monica Rial, fucking what's that guy's name? Ron and all those guys. I'm surprised more of them haven't been speaking on it. Maybe they have. I don't care at the moment to look. But I'm surprised if they're not already jumping for joy on that shit. Because Nick put a big dent in that whole voice actor situation. Like he really blew off the lid on a lot of the nonsense that happens over. You know what I'm saying? So you don't think they're not ready for some revenge? You don't think they wouldn't, cite the Vic Mignogna case and shit and be like, hey, this right here shows Nick and some of his malpractice, and keep in mind, Ty allegedly is the family lawyer for Nick and shit. So, they raised up all this money and this, that, and the third. Did they actually have, what's the term I'm looking for? Did they have an incentive to see Vic lose? And then Nick has already come out publicly and said, hey, fuck weebs, fuck anime, and this, that, and the third. That's how he really feels because he was under the influence. And like anybody who's usually under the influence, they speak their mind. They speak what they really feel. So who could say anything about anything? And keep in mind, the Vic Mignogna case helped make him, to be honest with you. The anime community was staunchly behind Nick Rekieta at that time, which is unfortunate in the fact that Perfection, you guys know, Perfection was right to some degree. He was right. It was all a grift and whatnot. And when the shit gets rough, you'll find out what Nick's really about. It took a number of years for it to happen, but theoretically one could say it's what happened. And I don't even know where Perfection's at anymore. But Jesus Christ. And I don't even know if that's probably a story that only I remember. You have to be deep in the anime community at that time to know who that guy was. So It's an ugly situation. Here, let's hear how Kat got cucked by Brian. That's that sounds fun. Oh my god. Let's see here. Oh. I didn't know I could do that. Hey, that might be useful later on down the line, depending on how I decide to use that. Okay, do you guys see that? You guys see that? You guys see that? All right, here we go.
Hate.
Good vibes to the
Shout out to
hate.
Shout out to hate.
Shout out
Shout out to hate.
Shout out to hate.
Shout out for
Shout
hate.
out for hate.
And I mean, just you got to think of it this way. I was actually talking to Brian during my day off. We were going back and forth. We'll talk about that because a lot of people are wondering, hey, will Brian be back for Street Fighter? And I'm talking with Brian. And
wait, I thought Phil's day off was for him and his wife and his cat son Jasper to spend time with each other. I thought he doesn't have time to set up streams. He doesn't have time to set up overlays. He can't do any of that because he spends all of his time running errands and spending time with his wife. But we have time to talk to Brian. And according to Brian's story, they've been talking on and off for weeks, essentially leading up to that match, that special event they had. That's weird. That's weird. That's strange. That's real strange. And funny enough, if Brian's story is true, I don't see a reason for him to lie, but just go with it. If what Brian's saying is true, are you saying between the two of them, they couldn't figure out how to get voice chat to work? Now, here's my question to you guys, chat. If Brian was John, would he have figured out how to make it happen for John? I want you to think about that. Really want you to let that stir in your noodle for a bit.
And I'm basically like, we're going back and forth during our day off about, gee, when will we play again and stuff like that. And I told him about, I've now improved my setup, and because of that, I can now have no input delay. And he's like, wow, that's amazing. And I was like, and you got to think of it this way.
And yeah, proper. I agree with that 100%, man. Like, there's no incentive for Brian to really, like, get back into the mix like that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Unless, like, there can be a real conversation that can be had, or real interaction, to be honest. And even then, how much, like, and like I said, we spoke about this earlier, like, for Brian, he's trying to get himself partnered on Twitch. I get it. Or I get it now, I should say. I didn't know before. Big ups to Ann on that. I don't see a whole lot of upside for Brian, to be honest with you. I'm not seeing it. I'm just not. To be honest. I don't know. Like, it's scraping the bottom of the barrel. It's not like the situation with, like, Super Blind Man or whatever, right? Where he kind of used DSP's clout and he was able to elevate himself and whatever. I don't know if he should have brought his wife to that award show, though, looking the way she did, but semantics. But anyway, I don't know if that was the play, but I don't know if yeah, I don't know. I don't know if Brian's going to benefit like that. We'll see. Like, but it's very clear DSP thought he was going to use Brian as a punching bag, and that's not happening. Like, clearly Brian has at least a very decent understanding of what the situation is. I gotta be honest, I'd like to see Brian go some sets with Piece of Peace. There are two other dudes in the detractor community who I've been watching for a while. One of the guys is a jury player, actually. And I'd like to see him get some sets in with Brian. If I could think of dude's name, I'll bring it up. I'll bring him up because I would like to see that dude get some exposure. If not, I'll make a note of it and I'll talk about him in a future stream. But I'd like to see that dude for sure get into a lobby with Brian if he hasn't been in one already. I'm definitely very interested in seeing that. Actually, I can jump on Twitter while I play this for you. Give me a second.
In the last year, I got 5 characters to master. 5. Some of which on multiple consoles, meaning I had to do it again a second time. So not only was I getting characters to master as recent as last week, I got Zangief to master, right? So this has been one of the hardest things I've ever done in fighting games, and I did it with a handicap. I essentially did it with one hand tied behind my back, with weighted clothing on, weighing me down as if I was Goku trying to prepare for the big fight against Frieza. Like, seriously. You guys have no clue when you are trying to do something competitive.
What the fuck is he talking about? What handicap is he talking about, chat? someone make that make sense. What's this massive fucking handicap he's talking about? Like what? Like and by the way, that reference wasn't a handicap. Or fucking Goku used that for training purposes. If anything, Piccolo is the one with the. God, I'm about to be a nerd about this shit. All right, Piccolo's the one with the handicap because he was the one that was wearing the fucking crazy ass weighted clothing. Now, don't be wrong, Goku is too, like his wristbands, his boots, and all that bullshit too, right? So don't get me wrong, but they went in there purposely with that. That's not necessarily a handicap. That was for training purposes, and for Piccolo especially, as we found out later, he was doing that to hide his power level. Whatever. I don't. You guys don't need to hear all that geek shit from me on that. What the fuck?
When you have a handicap, how tough it is. And I have had this huge handicap. I've been telling you guys, isn't it funny how everyone plays on PC? Now we know why. Right from the get-go, when you play on PC, you don't have the input delay that you have on console like I've had. So they've been playing instant.
What the fuck are you talking about? Okay, I'm gonna let him run with his narrative. But here's the thing. If that's really the case, then why did he move from Xbox to PlayStation then? Right after EVO? After he couldn't convince low tier God to match up with him that weekend. Why was he so quick to jump over the PlayStation if that's the case? He said, oh, well, the reason why I want to play on PlayStation now is because that's where everybody's at. You know what I'm saying? Like, Xbox is great and everything, but there's too many PC players, or it's too PC adjacent. So he didn't use adjacent, but you know what I mean? So I'm going to run over here to PlayStation because that seems like where all the pro players are at. Now, okay, all right, whatever. Whatever.
Seriously, instant react drive impacts, break every throw, anti-air every time. And then when I play and I try to do it, it's like lag. How did I get 5 characters to master and some to master twice? What does that say about the competition? Right? So I said that to Brian and he goes, damn. Here's a one-word answer. Damn.
Damn what? Damn, you're an idiot for buying the same game twice and whatnot, and it still took you forever to get 1 character to master, let alone 5. 2, bitch! You know how many fucking people out here who have multiple characters in master? You know how many people who can go over 150 and score and shit and not have to worry about getting demoted, even though you can't get demoted once you get to master? You know about that nonsense? You know how so many people can understand characters and whatnot and actually understand matchups and shit, so things aren't so difficult for them? You know how people actually look at combo videos and not worry about what you should do, but what you could do? How about that stuff? We're really gushing over 5 fucking characters. I think Justin had every character in the game at that time. He had every character in the game, like after like the first month in Master. I think most of the pros do that innately, even with characters they don't actually use. Why? Because it gives them a better understanding of the characters they're matching up against. Are you fucking... Alright, whatever. Let's continue.
He's like, like, damn, those fucking people who struggle and scrape to get to master and have losing records to hit master. And here I am with a winning record with every character I pick, got to master with insane input lag, right? So I hope you guys understand.
Is this the massive amount of cope that I've been missing out on? Is this what it is? Phil's never going to reach legendary. He's not going to do that. He's not going to do that. First things first, master, right? Master rank, I should say, is only the beginning, right? Like you getting, like everything was really just experimentation and training until you get to master. Once you get into master is where the real fight begins. He don't want none of that smoke. That's why once he gets a character to master, he wants to run off to something else, or he wants to run off to the next character and shit. On top of that, let me also point this out in case it hasn't been pointed out before. DSP is literally trying to take low tier God's gimmick, which is funny because LTG, as you know, is not on YouTube. To be honest, I think he's on Twitch and Kick. So if you think about it, if you think of some of DSP's bullshit pop-offs and all the anger and all that bullshit he's been doing lately, he's literally trying to drag over the attention low tier God used to have on YouTube, which he still does because he still has trolls. He's trying to draw that over to himself. He's literally trying to take over LTG's real estate, which is hilarious. I'm not sure if any of you thought about it that way, but if you give it some perspective and you think about some of his pop-offs or some of his rages, that's exactly what he's trying to do.
Why I've gotten so frustrated in the last year playing Street Fighter 6. It's not the game. It's the fucking problems trying to play it with this insane delay online. It's been wild the amount of delay that I have. And other people just don't experience it because they're playing on a different platform. Now, I have an update. I spoke with Brian. He would like to continue to do Street Fighter sessions with me. We did not set it up for tonight, though. It may happen later this week. However, he really wants to voice communicate during these sessions. He feels like they're not as fun or interesting if I don't voice communicate with him, okay? If we voice communicated, he'd be down for doing entire night streams of it. But he's like, dude, if we're not going to voice communicate, maybe I'll play for like an hour, but then I'm going to get bored. So the only thing I could think of is we got to figure out...
Wait, so that means DSP had no intention of ever doing it. It goes back to what I said earlier on, excuse me, where have Brian on screen as the on stream, I should say, as the combo dummy, and then have a video later by Phil's editors, and air quotes, who do the side-by-side so you get both of their perspectives so DSP can cash in twice. Brian's really pushing for the voice chat for obvious reasons, of course, and DSP is reluctant to do it. It's kind of like, well, okay, if you're going to keep playing with me, pause. If you're going to keep playing, then fine, we can do that. Oh my god. That's that tells a lot, Phil. God damn, I miss doing videos. Holy fuck. Oh my god, I miss doing videos. All right, here we go.
He really wants to voice communicate during these sessions. He feels like they're not as fun or interesting if I don't voice communicate with him, okay? If we voice communicated, he'd be down for doing entire night streams of it. But he's like, dude, if we're not going to voice communicate, maybe I'll play for like an hour, but then I'm going to get bored. So the only thing I could think of is we got to figure out a way for me to voice communicate with Brian over these sessions. And I think the solution, we talked about this for the last week. I don't think that buying a microphone that you just plug into a headphone jack will work. I think I'm going to have to find a PS5 compatible USB mic.
Why? He already has a headset that will work. Doesn't the white joints that he has, won't that, all he has to do is plug that into his controller. Matter of fact, that's what he was doing before he got the fucking the toilet bowl neck headphones and shit. So why can't we just do that? Are we so against taking showers on a regular basis that we refuse to do? Get the fuck out of here.
But the question is, what mic? We have to look into what microphones out there will plug into PlayStation 4.
And yeah, someone just pointed out in chat, what do you mean we? Big ups to Drake. What do you mean we? Why do we have to do anything? Like, do that shit yourself. Does he mean that, hey, which one of you guys are going to buy it for me? Which one of you guys are going to go on the Amazon onto my my wish list and pick out one of the many headphones that I've probably already been snaking or snaking sounds about right because he's not being honest. That I've already snaked out so you guys can go ahead and buy it for me? Is this what this shit's coming down to? Fuck out of here.
5 via USB and be recognized and work. And it cannot be a headset because I can't wear headphones. Okay? So whether it's maybe just something that goes over my ear but it doesn't go in the ear, it's just a mic that comes out, or maybe another microphone.
What? Wait! No! No. Oh, shit. Oh, no, this is not what I'm hearing. This is not the mental fucking gymnastics that no. I can't have a headset that goes over the ears or in the ears. It has to somehow provide me No, this is not what I'm hearing. This is not what I'm hearing. Okay. I know that I pushed the argument that DSP is mentally ill. Most of you believe this. For those of you who don't, I understand. Can't agree with everybody on everything. Mental gymnastics aside, make this make sense. Please, I'll wait. I really will. I will wait. Make this make sense. we we can't. I'm sorry. Hold on a second. Let me get it together. Okay. Let me get it together. Okay. Oh. No. Oh my god. Okay. Okay, I gotta dig deep for this. I can't. I'm not one to quit, but how do you respond to that ignorance? Chat, please. How do you even remotely respond to this ignorance? I can't say it's just greed. I can't say it's just mental gymnastics. I can't say it's just him being absolutely fucking inept. We're literally saying, hey, I don't want to take baths. I don't want to be able to clean my ears out. I don't want to do anything that's uncomfortable for myself. So me and my friend Brian can have these nights, that I'm going to exploit him for profit. He's just not worth it. He's really not. If it was Craig and if it was side scrollers, sure, no problem. I'll give you guys 6 hours, no big deal. You know what I'm saying? As long as you guys need. But I'm going to abuse Brian. This sounds like they're trying to make this a weekly thing. But I'm going to keep Brian on the porch because I don't want to sit there and have anybody else breathe my air. I don't want to have to share my space or do anything that's uncomfortable to me or for me, really, to where I'm so lazy that I can't even put my headphones on for 2 hours. You can't make this shit up. You can't make this shit up. Holy fuck. Side story. I was gonna tell proper this, but I haven't had a chance to do it yet, so I'll do it now. So I'm speaking to somebody. So I have a few people that I'm cool with who follow Girl World and shit in Hater Nation, right? And and they're like, for all the bullshit that they said it just like this. For all the bullshit that you say about DSP, there's no way he compares to Chantel and Amberlynn Reed when it comes to just absolute nonsense. The lies, the cycles, all that bullshit. Yeah, he do. Yes, he does. DSP rivals them easy. Okay? Like, if you guys know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. Amberlynn doesn't like taking baths. Chantel doesn't like taking baths. Jesus Christ. I just told Proper about this the other day. Fucking Chantel took her blood sugar the other day. She ended up lying about that. And she ended up exposing herself, but I'll get to that later. She ended up taking her blood sugar levels, and that bitch was like 22.6 or something like that. Literally the consistency of maple syrup. Basically. It was so bad that Salah, who had his blood sugar taken, he came out of 5, which is normal. He was concerned. He was like, hey, I need to take you to the hospital, or if you want to go to the hospital, I'll take you, which apparently they eventually did. Now, I'm going to deviate for just a second. Salah is probably looking to get her to go back to Canada because he can't afford to have Chantel die on him. Truth be told, Chantel doesn't care. Chantel is mad, or Foodie Beauty. She's mad because Charlie Gold has showed back up in the cut, and she's like 100 pounds lighter. That's why everybody's talking about Ozempic over there in Girl World. You know what I'm saying? Because now Chantel or Foodie Beauty, whatever, and Amber now want to lose weight fast so they can try to match up with Charlie. And they're going to end up trying to kill themselves to do it. This shit is wild. But as it goes back to mental fuckery, you can't tell me DSP doesn't rival Foodie Beauty and Amberlynn Reed. You just can't. Anybody who follows either one of them knows what I'm talking about. You know better. There's no way. There's no way. Oh my god. All right, I'm sorry, chat. We're back. we're back in it. Oh yeah, she's gross. Chantel that chick is nasty, dude. In the Mr. Snowflake Volume 3 that just came out, she talked about what the fuck did she say? Because it grossed me the fuck out when I heard her say it. She said that the mouth is very sexual. which is funny because from what I hear, she can't give a blowjob worth shit according to Natter. But whatever. Anyway, I haven't asked some of the bums around Canada what the real deal is with that. But she says that the mouth is very, very sexual, right? And she said there was a time when she was with Natter that she had just finished picking her nose. She just went mining for gold. And she said that Natter came up on her, grabbed her hand, and started like sucking on it. And she didn't tell him, or she says, I didn't tell him in time. She didn't tell him that she was digging in her nose and she had like boogers and everything all over that same finger. She thought it was hilarious. He got grossed the fuck out. I'm supposed to believe that after that particular situation, he was still pounding that out? And then, let's go back to the blood sugar thing. When she first took her reading, she didn't even wash her hands yet. She had to wash her hands, and then she took another blood test reading. And that shit was like 21 something. It was still high. So yeah, Chantel is gross. That woman is nasty. She doesn't like to bathe. She doesn't like to wash her hands. She barely washes her face. That's why you see makeup after multiple days and shit. She is vile. She's vile. Vile. And you have people like YouTube Underground, Yaba. And I love Yaba. You got people like Yaba saying, yeah, every once in a while Salah is jumping in that. No, he's not. No, he's not. Boy, unless he has a full body condom, he is, and it's shit. He needs to double up, if not triple up. He's not jumping in that. She can't. She admitted the other day that she doesn't. When she was I think she was either coming out of the bathroom or while she was on the plane. She said that she didn't even wipe because she didn't feel the time for it. She didn't have enough time for it or whatever. So she walked around in that. Like, what woman do you know who don't do that shit? Like, no. There is nobody that's getting in that chick's Grand Canyon, for the lack of a better term. No, I don't believe that at all, and that's the reason why she eats the way she does. Speaking of which, let me double back. When she said that the whole thing about the mouth is sexual or whatever, that actually explains why she eats as much as she does. You know what I'm saying? It's probably the only way that she can get some type of stimulants, for the lack of a better term. And that's just my theory, to be honest. So that kind of explains a lot as it pertains to the situation. Anyway, that's just a personal thought I have. If I'm willing to look for it, I could probably find the clip for you if you guys really want to hear it. But anyway, that chick is vile. That chick is vile. Absolutely vile. Oh my god. And Kat is not far from where she's at in weight-wise. Like, she's starting to creep up. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be hot this summer. It's going to be hot this summer. Anyway, let's continue back to this, but it's vile. That chick is so vile. Oh my god.
And it cannot be a headset because I can't wear headphones. Okay? So whether it's maybe just something that goes over my ear, but it doesn't go in the ear, it's just a mic that comes out, or maybe another microphone that I could put right here on the desk, like right here, so I'm talking to two mics at once, which I guess we'd have to do. I need help. Do any of you out there use a PS5 specific microphone via USB? Okay? It cannot be the controller. The controller mic's not going to be good enough, and we don't want to have two controllers on at the same time because they could conflict. All right? Can't be a microphone that goes through a headphone jack because that's also going to cause a conflict with the audio out. What we need is a microphone that would be recognized via USB as a compatible device with PS5. It'll have adjustments. We can adjust the volume levels and everything in the menus to get it working. So what I would do is I would use this microphone to go through Discord. Discord is synced with PS5. So if I just have it open, like we can open a chat, we could set the chat early, already working behind the scenes. Then we can just boot up Street Fighter 6 and we'll talk via Discord. You'll hear Brian's voice coming through. You'll obviously hear me through this mic. He'll hear me through the second microphone. And it should work fine. Okay? But I need to figure out.
Okay. Outside, bar the fact that he's just mildly retarded, if not just full-blown retarded. we're really going through all these hoops. This is insane. This is literally fucking insane. Oh, well, yeah. I thought he doesn't have a Discord either. But let's bar that for now. Don't read into that. You're thinking too much. You know what I'm saying? Thought police. We don't do that around here. You know what I'm saying? It's like Gowdy Minority Report around this bitch. No. No. All right, someone let Brian know. Don't do shit upon shit with this guy until he gets his shit together. No, do not do this. This right here reminds me, I'm going to take you guys back for a minute. This reminds me of the Mario Sunshine debacle. You guys remember that? That's what this sounds like. That's exactly what this sounds like. Quick synopsis. DSP was either doing Patreon's choice or player's choice. And Mario Sunshine came up on the vote. It ended up winning. He didn't want to play it because he didn't have what he needed for GameCube to capture it. On top of the fact we found later on, he didn't even have the game. He decided because Spiral showed up or came in second place, we'll play that, and then we're gonna play Mario Sunshine later. On top of that, the reason why he didn't want to play Mario Sunshine because he was already playing two other games. He was playing Mario Galaxy and he was playing Mario plus Rabbids. And at that time, he couldn't profit off of Nintendo games on YouTube. You know what I'm saying? So they were strictly promotion. He was only making money off the streams, which is the reason why he didn't want to do it. But he let Mario Sunshine stay on the fucking docket because it was bringing in money and people were using it to vote. Anyway, make a long story short, because detractors, trolls, haters, and critics stayed on his motherfucking neck and kept the pressure on it all night and kept applying, DSP was forced to go ahead and buy it. He had to buy a couple of cables, he had to buy a copy of the game, and he had to do something else. It cost him like $135. And he was butthurt as fuck over it. Why was that, chat? Because he had never had any intention of playing that game. He was gonna, if anything, he was gonna wait until it came out on Virtual Console and then basically double tap their ass and just eat off them twice. And it just didn't happen. He was forced into it. He was big mad about that shit. This right here sounds like the exact same goddamn thing. There is no... Dude, I've been playing X Defiant with people. It's not on PC yet. But, no, it is on PC. It's just not on Steam, I don't think. Huh. Yeah. It's on PC. It's just not on Steam. At least not yet. It needs I will say this, by the way. X Defiant needs to get on Steam if it's going to be successful from the PC market. Because a lot of people don't want to go through Ubisoft's own shit. But anyway, that's semantics. I've played against people and in parties with people on PlayStation, Xbox, and I'm pretty confident I've played with guys on PC, and I've had none of these troubles. I've had none of these issues. Make it make sense. Make this make sense. When the whole situation happened with side scrollers, we got it done. We have this situation with Brian where you're planning on eating off him for multiple weeks on end, and this is... What is this? Is this supposed to discourage people from wanting to hear both sides of the situation? Is this him trying to use his audience to basically put pressure on Brian and say, hey, Brian, he's really having a hard time with this. He has an ailment. Ear infection is an ailment. That's funny. He has an ongoing chronic ailment where he can't wear a headset or whatever. He can't put anything into his precious piggy ears. So we're just going to have to figure something out later, bruh. Like, what is this? Like, what is this?
Now, what microphone works via USB with PS5 and gets recognized and is working well? Because problem is, most PC microphones don't work with Sony. You plug in any PC thing into a USB port with Sony's unrecognized device. So I need feedback from you guys.
Wait, has he actually tried that? Can anybody verify this? Yeah, take another bong rip for me too. Please. Like, can anybody actually confirm that? Like, I've never heard DSP ever need to plug anything, a USB microphone into his PlayStation. I don't remember him ever having to plug anything. He doesn't use adapters or anything like that. So how would he know that?
Who out of you out there uses a microphone with PS5 via USB? And if we get the answer and I can look into a couple models, maybe I can get one. All right. So it just kind of sucks because I liked doing that session. I would love to do those sessions. Hell, we could probably do them once a week, right?
I told you. I told you. This, you know what this shit is here? It's one of many examples. I don't know if Kekken's is returning. Just Brian for right now. Goji, what's up, Goji? Big ups to everybody in chat. This right here is Twitch bounty board all over again. You know, because DSP wanted to finagle that into a weekly thing too, even twice a week, even. So I'm wondering. Well, anyway, it doesn't matter. I told you that's what Brian was gonna get relegated to. He's gonna be a prop once or twice a week. But I don't see what DSP's end game is outside of just double tapping this guy twice. This isn't gonna encourage anybody else from the FGC to play against him, to be honest. And that a DSP would be too paranoid to do that anyway. So what is his end game here? He's not going to challenge detractors, trolls, haters, and critics. So, yeah, the PC advantage thing is blatantly wrong, but I'll let him live with his own delusion or whatnot, because I know that he wants the new PC. I understand that's like the end game and whatnot. I get that. It's stupid, but I get it. Matter of fact, didn't he say the new his new capture card doesn't even work? Or it did work, but it doesn't work now, or he can't get it to work with his mini PC or something along those lines? I thought I heard something about it. The end game, faking having friends. Oh, that's so brutal, but it's true. Well said. Well said. All right, let's continue. I'm sorry.
His characters and stuff. We do challenge night where it's just me versus him, and I use one character, he uses one character, or whatever. You know, we could do stuff like that, but I need to get a microphone working. So please give me your feedback, whether you leave comments on this video, whether you contact me privately with an email, talk to me in chat, whatever it is. I need information on this. It sucks that we kind of brainstormed in the last week, but sadly none of the things would work.
Wait, so this this mental midget monkey has been talking to Brian for a week, and neither one of them between this brain trust thought about going on Google and finding out what's what? We're just going to come back to the daily therapy session and expect them to figure it out. You can't make this shit. You really can't make this shit up.
Like, for example, just use the PS5 controller. It won't work. If you do that, because you have the joystick and the controller plugged in, it kind of overrides, it screws it up, it won't work. Just use something, plug it into the headphone jack. That won't work.
Wait, isn't there a USB jack on the joystick? Wait a second, hold on. Where's my arcade stick at? Because I know mine has a USB outlet on that bitch, and because I've used it before. Yeah, right. I got it. Yeah, my model has one, and it's not a Hori. It's like a Mayfield. So what the fuck? All right, whatever.
You plug anything into the headphone jack on a PS5 controller, it overrides the audio out. So you guys would have no audio whatsoever on the stream if I plug something into the headphone jack. I can't do that. It has to be via USB, so it's recognized only as a microphone, not as a headphone. I can't use headphones. I cannot use them. So it's not, oh, well, you could use headphones for this. No, I can't. All right? It has to be extremely rare if I ever use headphones, not once a week. Then we're getting back to the situation where I'm going to get ear infections and shit again. I'm not going back there. Okay? No!
I need to hear that again. I'm lying to myself. There's no way he said that. Once a week, I can't go back to that. I'm going to get ear infections again. I'm sorry.
USB, so it's recognized only as a microphone, not as a headphone. I can't use headphones. I cannot use them. So it's not, oh, well, you could use headphones for this. No, I can't. All right? It has to be extremely rare if I ever use headphones, not once a week. Then we're getting back to the situation where I'm going to get ear infections and shit again. I'm not going back there. Okay?
So what? We're saving up our we're saving up our points until we're saving up our points until the next time he's on side scrollers or his next interview. What? Oh my. Oh, that's special. That's special. I'm stunned, chat. That's fucking fantastic. Oh man. Okay, let's continue. I'm sorry. Oh, fucking A, bro.
I would love feedback. House of Night says I use a Blue Yeti. It works on PS5. It's a USB microphone. Is that true? So the Blue Yeti mics can just plug and play into PS5 and it will detect them? That's good feedback. I'll have to look into that then. Thank you, House of Nights. Blue Yeti.
Why is he acting like he doesn't know what a Blue Yeti is? Matter of fact, didn't DSP have a Blue Yeti back in the day? Or am I misremembering? I'm pretty confident DSP had a Blue Yeti back when he was in Connecticut. I could be wrong. Don't quote me on that. No, he did have a Blue Yeti back in the day, didn't he? It was like a white one, I thought. I'm gonna have to go back and look at some old DSP shit real fast. I'm confident that he had one.
If anyone else has suggestions or advice, please share. Okay. So hopefully what I'm hoping is that by the end of this week, all right, I can get a few different suggestions from viewers. I'll look into them. All right. Maybe be able to get one by the end of the week, and then maybe I could set a new session up with Brian to test it out. Okay? Yeah. Okay, please, if you could, because I got 2 people talking to me at once now, please shoot me an email, darksidefil@hotmail.com, with the information, the stats of the microphones that you guys are using. I would like to compare them and look at them. Obviously, if they're expensive, I can't be dropping $100 on a mic, but if it's like 30, 40 bucks, maybe, right? I can't go crazy and overspend on a mic that I'm only going to use for this. So yeah.
Damn, Brian, I'm sorry that you ain't worth a shit, bro. It's bad enough that he needs to keep your ass on the patio, but damn, he's not willing to drop $100 and whatnot to make money off your ass, which is crazy because you're going to bring at least $100 a week anyway. So it kind of pays for itself, but he feels that you're not worth $100. Damn, Brian, I'm sorry, bro. I'm sorry, bro. I mean, I'm not sorry. You should know better, and I'm sure it's not that deep for you. At least it shouldn't be, but god damn, Brian. That's rough, homie.
Please, suggestions. Oh, by the way, I wonder how long the USB cables are on these things too, because obviously I'd like to be a decent length, because it has to go across my entire floor over here. So anyway, feedback needed. Please contact me. Again, you can email me. You can talk to me in chat. You could, I mean, I would say don't tweet me. Probably not smart because I'm probably not going to see it on Twitter. $80. See, I want to spend $80 on a microphone, man. Ugh. It'll probably be $100, dude. I can't spend $100 on a mic. That's nuts. $100? $100 for a microphone that I'm only going to use when I basically do co-op with Brian. And by the way, just for the record, I talked to Brian and we are thinking about perhaps in the future doing some other things besides Street Fighter. Like right now, he's getting into multiverses. I don't know how much I'm going to get into multiverses, so I didn't want to...
So he's literally trying to turn Brian into the new John. That's weird because him and Brian don't have him and John's chemistry, to be honest. On top of that, Brian likes to joke around. DSP that's not in his forte. Okay. This isn't gonna work. I don't see this working in the long term. Not without someone essentially taking the knee to the other. Oh boy, this is kind of sad, actually. This is kind of sad. $80 is too much. $100 is too much. Can't he just put it on his little fucking Amazon layaway plan or some shit? I don't understand. I don't get it. I'm not sure. Why does he keep saying his name in full? I'm not sure. That's a fair question. Has he now purchased 3 versions of Street Fighter 6? He has 2 at the moment, and if he ends up getting the one for for PC, it'll be 3 for sure. But if he's smart, he'll go through like he'll go through like one of those PC key websites and whatever, and just pick it up there. To be honest with you, like most people buy Call of Duty that way, for example. So he should do that. Going through so many steps when all he needs to do is OBS to Discord. Yeah, like it's similar to kind of like how I speak the proper through Discord, to be honest with you. And then I can have him pop through my stream. He could do that, but he won't because he's inept at fucking Discord, or not at Discord. Well, he is inept at Discord, but he's bad at OBS too. So he's not going to do that. Not at all. Until someone recommends it to him, and then they're going to need to walk him through it step by step, and it's a mess. It's a fucking mess. This is really silly shit. Like, it's entertaining, but this is real. This, you can't tell me this isn't mental fuckery here. Like, this is him basically saying, hey, Brian, I don't want to have to talk to you unless I really, really need to, without saying, hey, Brian, I don't want to talk to you unless I really need to. That's literally what this is.
Tell him, oh yeah, let's play or not, because I don't even know if I'm going to get into it. You know what I'm saying?
And then check this out. He hasn't even gotten the Street Fighter shit figured out yet, and you're already trying to get him into other games? Like, you haven't even figured out how to properly exploit Brian yet when it comes to Street Fighter. And you're already talking about trying to bring him into other games. That's wild.
I might not. And if I don't get into it, I'm not going to tell him commit to doing stuff there. But there may be other games in the future where we could do stuff together. He plays all kinds of games. So it would be cool to do that. But again, yeah, it's an investment. $100 is a crazy investment for a microphone for just a couple co-op sessions here and there. You know what I'm saying?
Now, here's the thing. Another thought. Either he really isn't making shit on YouTube as it pertains to ad revenue, or he just doesn't value Brian as a person, so he doesn't see the investment worthwhile. Because truth be told, how many sessions do you need to have with someone to justify a $50 to $100 microphone? And when he's not using it, couldn't theoretically Cat use it? I want you to hear my logic in this. So he said yesterday or the day before that he's running his streams at like 15,000 megabits or some crazy shit like that, which makes no goddamn sense. That's overkill, especially for what he's doing. He could probably do that on 8, and even then, that's probably a bit much. But if you remember, the reason why Cat can't stream or make content for YouTube is because he's going to suck up the majority of the internet, despite the fact that they got 2 internet lines. Semantics. So, yet again, why? Like why? It does, oh my God. I'm going to have to listen to this again. This might have to be a video because, Jesus Christ, I need to really sit here and think about this nonsense. Because this is fuckery in the worst possible way. Like, he's kind of stringing Brian along. Like, just tell Brian that you don't want to do the voice chat shit. And then you're just going to dual sync it later. Just be honest with him. And if Brian only wants to do that, if Brian is forced to do that, I should say, and he only wants to do it for an hour, then fine. You're going to run your ass back to casual anyway. You're not going to get no smoke in ranked. So who gives a shit? So at night, you have 1 hour playing with Brian, and then you have another hour of getting your ass beasted in fucking casual. Who gives a shit? Theoretically, that works out. But this mental fuckery, though, I don't know. All right, here, let's continue. I don't know. I don't get it.
So, well, anyway, let's talk about it. Please email me the stats. If you guys see this stuff, email me the stuff. I'll see if it's available, like on
because Brian is just an asset. Brian's just another part of the stream. You know what I'm saying? He doesn't look at Brian as a person. That's why. To be honest with you. It's a good question. That's a very good question. You know what I'm saying? He already knows Brian, this, that, and the third. Nah. DSP is resentful, and he's jealous too, to be honest with you. To be honest. He's resentful, he's jealous, he's spiteful. You know what I'm saying? Like, even though he has probably the larger upside of this transaction or whatever the case may be, he needs to minimize Brian's involvement as much as possible. It's the only way that he can maintain control of the situation. If not, then you start getting into problems. He doesn't look at Brian as his equal. You know what I'm saying? Brian's just another person. He's just another thing. He's another toy that DSP can kind of have his way with, quote unquote, and then discard him when he's done. That's why. He doesn't value Brian as a person. At least that's my thoughts. Exactly. Yeah, big ups to fucking Hate Army, dude. Like, this shit's definitely got me thinking.
On Amazon and stuff like that.
Big ups.
And go from there. But yeah, please contact me with that information. All right.
All right, big ups to Hate Army, dude. Holy shit. That's tough. Holy shit, that's tough. Fucking A, bro. That's fucking crazy. Kind of. That's the way I kind of see it, proper. I see, like, in some strange way, like, Brian's is just a conduit to John in some way, shape, or form. But then that's weird. Why is he just now reaching out to Brian? Why didn't he do that like halfway through Street Fighter 6? Why didn't he do that during Call of Duty? Like, there were so many other times or opportunities to get a hold of Brian. And I saw someone bring up June the King in this. That, as far as I know, that shit's already in like post-production. So that doesn't change anything. You know what I'm saying? Like, this doesn't make DSP look good. It doesn't humanize him. It doesn't make him more of a person. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day. So I don't know. It's very strange to see DSP leave his own hug box, to try to interact with people. That's really weird. That's like if he reached out to Tevin like tomorrow and shit and wanted to make amends. I don't see him ever doing that. It'd be interesting to see him do it, but that's not something I see him doing. Okay, so while I'm talking to you guys, give me a second. I'm gonna try to find this Mr. Snowflake clip. I'm gonna look for it now. You have to see the torture in it. You have to see the you have to see the torture in this shit. I have to do it. Let's see here. Oh, is that the one where she does where she panics, say beans, running around and shit because she's high on drugs and she don't know what the fuck's going on? Is that it? Is this it? This is it. Holy shit. Sorry for the evil laugh. Give me a second. I think this might be Shadow Reality. Okay, hold on a second. Is this it? Where she's like cracked out of her head and shit, running around crazy? Uh-huh. Oh, and that's another thing too. I don't give a fuck about, and I've said this before. I said this in like some fucking voice chat on some Discord. I don't give a fuck what. First off, I don't believe Foodie Beauty that she was abused by Dom or Natter. I don't believe that. I'm sorry, I don't. She's a fucking pathological liar. There's no reason to believe her. Secondly, she still covered for him, and even when she found out about the abuse charges about the other two women that he stabbed up, she still tried to defend him. She still tried to run interference for the probation officer. Get the fuck out of here. He can rest in piss along with Karate Joe in hell. I don't give a fuck about none of that shit. I'm not going to sit there and sympathize with that. I'm not doing that at all. Because when Dee Dee was getting smacked the fuck up, did she sympathize with Dee Dee when that happened? No, she didn't. I eat people. You hear me? I eat people. She didn't say shit about that. She made it sound like Dee Dee deserved it. No woman deserves to get beat down. So, whatever. Let's see here. Where you got to see this shit. This bitch was coked the fuck out. Yeah. Here it is. Oh, I'm gonna start right there. I want you to see the horror. Okay, chat. Let me bring you guys in. We're here with Mr. Snowflake. Strap in, chat. Strap in. Holy shit. Oh yeah, I did actually. I did see when sorry, let me address the chat first. Yes, I did see when she said when she pissed it looked and smelled like barbecue sauce. Yeah, I did see that. That's and you're telling me that Salah is in those walls? You're telling me that he's going full pelvis into that batter's box with God knows what's gonna be on him when he pulls out. Sorry, no. Hell no. Hell no. No, I don't believe it. All right, here we go. Yeah.
Admittedly, I'm no expert when it comes to beezing, so I would show the clips I was watching to people and say, "Is she high here?" And every time they'd go, "Yes, of course she is." But even I could tell on this next live stream, she was away with the fairies.
It sounds like there's someone at my door. I swear, do you hear the thumping? You don't hear the thumping? I swear, I'm not playing. Hey! Come out now!
Come out and do what? Come out and do what? What's Pete's gonna do? Like, Pete's is not gonna do nothing? You're not gonna do nothing? What? Make it make sense. What are you gonna do? What you gonna do?
Oh, no. Fuck. Pete! Oh, no. Fuck. Pete! There's an intruder! Come here.
Woo! Shit. Was that BBJ? Oh, was that BBJ in that shit? That's hilarious. Oh, wow. Oh, dude, man. Like, and the thing is, too, is like she was on probably a bunch of drugs at that time, dude. She was smoking weed heavily. Meth was definitely involved. Coke was probably involved. Crack was probably involved. She was a hot mess at that time, dude. Holy shit.
It sounds like there's someone at my door. I swear, do you hear the thumping? You don't hear the thumping? I swear, I'm not playing. Hey! Come out now! Oh, no. Fuck. Pete! There's an intruder! Come here. Weapon. I'm fucking sorry. I'm not losing my sleep. You've caused enough trouble tonight. No, open the door. I don't want to be sure. Please.
Wow, what a shot. Nobody ever.
Did you see what happened?
I saw you off your tits. That's what I saw. I thought that Takin was starting to get out of hand.
Oh, shit. Coked out of her goddamn mind. Oh, that was fantastic. Oh, my God. Fantastic. Holy shit. Here, hold on a second. While I'm talking, this is, I guess, how we'll end the stream because, yeah, we're coming up on that mark. Let me see if I can find this one scene for you guys. Let's see here. Is it this far ahead? Yeah, that's when she's in Kuwait. Let me see if I can find it for you. Man. I gotta tell you, this documentary is eye-opening as shit. Like it's far worse than that woman's absolutely vile. Just absolutely vile. Absolutely vile. Got it. Oh my God. Oh, my memory's good. Not great, but it's good. All right. All right, chat. This is the nose picking shit I was telling you guys about.
Food is the worst for it. She's just got zero self-control.
I like finger and mouth play with my grubby fingers with crusty nail polish. how much mouth play we have in our relationship. The mouth is very sensual. Did I ever tell you I picked my nose once and then he put my finger in his mouth before I could say anything? I'm just waiting for his reaction and he was like...
She's so gross.
You need to hear that again, chat, for clarification's sake.
Food is the worst for it. She's just got zero self-control.
I like finger and mouth play with my grubby fingers with crusty nail polish. How much mouth play we have in our relationship. The mouth is very sensual. Did I ever tell you I picked my nose once and then he put my finger in his mouth before I could say anything? I'm just waiting for his reaction and he was like...
She's so gross. Is this normal? I don't watch a lot of vloggers and YouTubers. I've watched plenty of Amber.
All right, that's the end of that. I want to make sure I wanted to make sure that you guys saw that. I needed receipts on that shit. That shit is horrifying, bruh. That shit is horrifying. Holy shit. All right, chat. Pretty sure the daily therapy session is starting up soon. Sure there's a bunch of other detractors out there you guys can check out. Let's see here. Actually, let me look at my front page. Dark Dave Mears is in the spot. Raw Phil is up there. Big ups to them. Detractor Beam is in position. Big ups to them. Is that who I think that is? Oh shit, he still streams? Oh. Okay. All right. I wasn't sure of that. Okay, chat. Big ups to all of you and shit. Like I said, initially I was trying to test some stuff out. It worked. So that's cool. I didn't actually think I was live, which is kind of funny. But I'm glad I did it. Like I said, this will be a prep stream. Next stream, I hope to go over some. We'll go over Review Tech USA. I got a bunch of videos that I kind of cut up and lined up for you. Go over some Nick Rekieta stuff as it pertains to Steel Toe. I want to try to, if I can, I want to try to tell you the story of that situation and give you guys a better perspective, I suppose, of what's going on with that. And more DSP nonsense, to be perfectly honest with you. More DSP nonsense. Yeah, so I got quite a bit. Yeah, I need to check out that that Wilder fight is tonight. If he loses, he says he's gonna retire, right? If that's the case, I want to see that. Speaking of which, I guess we could talk about this briefly. Crawford already said that Canelo has already turned him down. But Crawford said he was still going to pursue it if he can get the money that Canelo wants. But I'd really like to see that fight between Canelo Alvarez and Terrence Crawford. I mean, granted, he needs to fight David Benavidez first. He needs to fight him first. But I do want to see that Crawford fight, though. That would be big money. I don't know if, but to fight David, though, Canelo wants like 200 million. So I don't even know what his price would be for Canelo. I don't know what Canelo's price would be to fight Crawford, I should say. So I don't know. I do not know. But we'll see how the Wilder fight goes tonight. I do want to check that out. We'll see how that plays. I wonder what's in that undercard, actually. But we'll see what's up. But that should be good, though. Yeah, he wants 200. He wants 200. Canelo wants 200 million to fight David. And there's a lot of nonsense going on about how he's been ducking David for too long, so on and so forth. And because Canelo said he wouldn't fight another Mexican fighter. There's all kinds of nonsense. Actually, if you give me just the briefest of moments, let me see here. Fucking A. Go to Boxing Matrix. I could go to Office Honcho. He might have it. Let's see here. Yeah, there's David Benavidez, but is he? There's like an interview out there where there's an interview out there where he said that like, yo, Canelo wants like 200 million to fight him, which makes sense because Canelo's getting to the point in his career where it's money from here on out, which is why a lot of people criticize him. Well, a lot of people criticize him, but I mean, that's just how the cookie needs to crumble at this point. Because I mean, Canelo can't do this forever. Let's see. There's motivation video. It's 22 minutes though, but it's the real story of Canelo Alvarez ducking David Benavidez. But I don't know if I want to go through that. Not without actually putting that up. Damn, that's kind of crazy. What is this one? Let me see this. Okay, here we go. I can at least give you this. He's slightly off though about the 150 million. Canelo wants 200 million. Canelo wants 200 million to fight him. But here, I can give you this. Let's see what this is. Will this connect? It will. Here we go. All right. I can't start it from the beginning, so we'll just have to. I'll have to let it replay. You'll hear it.
Fight me, but he still has the nerve to say that I don't bring nothing to the table. So if I didn't bring nothing to the table, why are you asking for more money than you won in your whole career if I don't mean anything? Maybe after he gets that money, he can buy himself a pair of balls. I'm not scared of nobody. I've hurt everybody that's been in front of me, and Canelo's no different. And I will hurt him too, and I'll take all his belts. It's crazy that he asked for 150 million or 200 million to fight me, but he still has the nerve to say that I don't bring nothing to the table. So if I didn't bring nothing to the table, why are you asking for more money than you won in your whole career if I don't mean anything? Maybe after he gets that money, he can buy himself a pair of balls.
I mean, he's theoretically not wrong. I mean, 200 million's a lot of fucking money, dude. I'm not saying David's not worth it and whatnot, but Jesus Christ, that's a big money. That's a big money situation, bruh. Like, the promotion and shit needs to be on point for that to work. If not, I mean, it is what it is. But like I said, we can. I'll try to do a segment, man, because there's a lot of things I need to understand as it pertains to going over like MMA and boxing shit. But if that is like a segment that you guys would like to talk about in the future, then I can definitely pull that up because there's a shitload of channels, man, that I can that we can pull from. But yeah, 200 million to make that happen, chat. 200 million. And like I said, I don't see that being pulled, man. That's a crazy amount of money to make some shit happen. But that's neither here nor there. Neither here nor there. All right, chat. First things first. Thank you guys for all for showing up, allowing me to basically speak on this nonsense or whatever. There's so much that I didn't get a chance to go over. There's so much more to laugh at. It is what it is. There's so much crap. There's so much shit. There's so much Nick Rekieta nonsense to go over. There's so many holes in Review Tech USA's fucking story that needs to be picked apart, as well as other nonsense. Big ups to bad moments in lolcow history. Big ups to Hate Army. Big ups to all y'all. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I appreciate y'all coming through and whatnot. It's been cool. And like I said, man, I'll catch y'all. I'll catch y'all on the flip. It'll be a thing. Let me see if I have something to play out. I think. No. Yeah, here we go. All right, so I'll catch you guys on the flip. Take care of yourselves. Later, chat. Wait a second, real fast. Almighty, are you the jury player that I'm thinking of? Is that you? Like I'm pretty confident that's. Let me check real fast. I'm pretty confident that you're who I'm thinking of earlier. Let me check. No, you didn't. You didn't do anything. You didn't do anything. I was saying that there's a jury player that I'd like to see Brian face off against. I think it's you. Give me a second. If you would permit me just this one moment. Let's see here. That shouldn't. Actually, you know what? I could just click on your name. I could just click on your name and make this super easy for myself. But I gotta take the boomer way out on this shit. Let's see here. Pretty confident. Yeah, it is. You are who I was. Yep. You are who I was thinking of. That's what's up. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's you. That's what's up. Okay, I need to put a notation down here. Yeah, he's the guy. He's the guy. Yes, he is. Oh boy, oh boy. I mean this in a good way. By the way, Almighty. I mean this in a good way. Cause yeah, that's you. You bet. Hold on a second. Let me pull you up real fast, like kind of spotlight you and whatnot. Because I do honestly want to see you get into I honestly want to see you match up against yeah, that's you. I want to see you match up against Brian. Because I think that'd make a fantastic match. And given your play style, yeah, given your play style, yeah, that's you. Yeah. This is the one that I was. Yeah, that you're exactly who I thought it was. All right, bet. All right, my bad, man. I don't mean to put you on the spot, man. Like, big ups to you for sure. I want to see you match up against Brian. I don't know how I would reach out to Brian though, but I'll figure out something because sometime down the line, I want to see that matchup. Question, Almighty, are you in fucking A? Hate Army has like a he has like a Street Fighter 6 training group. Are you associated? Or are you in there at all? Who else? Pop, Piece of Peace. He has a Discord where they talk about fighting games. Are you in either one of those, just out of curiosity? Let's see. Okay, you are in Hate Army's club? Alright, bet. Bet. That's what I like to hear. Okay, cool. If not next stream, maybe the stream after, we'll see. I may pull, if you're cool with it, because, you know, I assume you wouldn't mind, but let's not make too many assumptions. Because, I'll, you know, his Discord is his, okay, well, here, let me clarify that, by the way. I may pull up some of your matches, because I'd like to see you go up against Brian. Pop's Discord is strictly, like, for leveling up in fighting games. As far as I know, there is no DSP talk or anything in there. It's strictly FGC shit. Maybe you can reach out to him on Twitter and see his requirements are. But the last that I was told, if you send him a DM or something, he may send you the link. It couldn't hurt because I'd like to, I'd like to see you do well. To be honest with you, my guy, I'd like to see you do well. And I think that might be a decent training ground for you. So if you're following Pop on Twitter, maybe you can reach out to him by DMs, and DM is probably the best way to go about it and whatnot, because I don't know what the exclusivity of who's in there and who's not, but I do know it's basically Fight Club in that bitch. Like, they're in there leveling up, and I think you would benefit from it. So if that's something you're interested in, like, you know, don't go off my merit. You know what I'm saying? If that's something you're interested in, by all means. But you are in Hate Army's club, big ups. I hear they're killers over there. I need to reach out to Hate Army about that one day. But all right, guys. Yeah, sorry. I just wanted to make sure. I just wanted to make sure. All right, get out of here. Have a good time, man. Enjoy your day. Enjoy your weekend. I'll catch up with you guys later.